Okay, hello and welcome to session 24 of the Crossmeet campaign. Previously in Kulthania, our party had an offer, or at least Grim had an offer from the Thieves Guild that we'll just say he declined to take them up on it, at least under the conditions they were insisting upon. After that, the party learned from Lady LeSever and was asked to intercept a delivery of an old book, a diary that they had procured and would be taking back to their stronghold. And she provided you with the information about approximately when, within a few hours, they would be transporting this book and along what road. You guys did a little investigation in town. You talked to Ivan. You learned that the Senatu are basically like their own little military group ready to jump in and become the government whenever they deem it necessary, perhaps. And so you decided to go ahead with this interception. I'm going to throw up a map of a bunch of information. Now, it is the morning of the 14th of rotting. You guys know that sometime in the afternoon of the 16th of rotting, this delivery will be made, and the Senatu agents will be traveling west to east along Galfor Road. So here's Crossmeet over here. This road is like around here, about halfway between Godstone and Cerner. It's about 10 hours to get to Galfor Road, maybe 12 hours to get to Galfor Road from Crossmeet. So it's about 4 hours from Cerner. So plan accordingly, knowing that. So it's the morning of the 14th of rotting. You've got about 36 hours to make this interception. We're going to we'll start with Jada this time. I'll say you guys are all in your house. It's morning. It's milder than it's been. There's still a little bit of snow on the ground, maybe a half inch or so. In the middle of the roads, it's all turned to mud and slush, hard mud and slush. Still some snow at the sides. Jada, you're awake, and tell us what you're doing, thinking.
All right. I'm probably in there cooking some breakfast. Whether it's bacon or ham steaks. All we know is it's not sausage, because that causes issues with Belmera.
Right.
And maybe put on a pot of coffee for Grim when he wakes up. But I'm really trying to busy myself with very, very mundane things, so that I don't have to. I mean, we kind of came to a conclusion and sort of a settling on the idea of what we're doing is not necessarily bad, but there is still the idea that, we are getting ready to go into quite literally an armed conflict with a group of individuals over a book. And it's kind of a weird quandary, because if we're literally taking someone that we've met very little, at her word, as well as the word of a couple other people around town, that what she says is valid and right, versus this other group who obviously believes whatever they believe fervently enough that they're killing for it, and so is she. Just she's killing through us. So it's kind of a weird thing, and it's intriguing from the idea of the sort of thirst and quest for knowledge that possesses a lot of the Walkenars, but at the same time, it's a very steep price to pay when you're having to kill people to get something. And judging from the thug hideout that we found and the beating of the elf, it's not going to be something we're going to roll up and say, hey, can we please borrow your book? So, yeah, right now I'm probably doing a bunch of mundane stuff, maybe more than is necessary. Shoving crates around and trying to organize. Just busy work, really. Waiting for someone else to get up, or if Tolrune's already up, for him to come back from his runs, or or pig punching, whatever he's doing, just so I'm not necessarily left alone with my thoughts of wondering how in the world we got here.
Okay, excellent. All right, so Tarun, you're an early riser, so we'll say you wake up too, perhaps to the smell of cooking.
I was actually going to say that I was getting back from a run, and I actually went out to practice the techniques that I found in the book, and I think that I've fairly well grasped them at this point. And I opened the door to the place. Jordan hears a squeal of a pig in pain, and then Tolroon enters the building.
I kind of greet you with a raised eyebrow, just.
I sigh, and that one wasn't me.
I look out the
morning in Crossmeet. You hear pig scream in pain from afar.
You see, we don't have a rooster to wake anyone up anymore, so we just get Tolroon to punch the pigs till they squeal.
That's the alarm system.
Yeah. All right, so
go ahead.
Yeah. I'm going to sit down and just after a few moments of just like sitting still. So are we ready to intercept the Sonatu?
Yeah. Are we ready? Yeah, I'm not sure. The others, the Belmere and Graham, I believe they are still sleeping. As far as whether we are ready, you and I. I mean, if it is better for the world, then I suppose it's something we must do.
Grim, you can wake up at any time. Belmera, you seem to be a late sleeper, so we'll say you get up last. So jump in whenever you want there, Grim.
Yeah. So I wake up rather quiet and kind of roll off my bench as they are, I've actually been awake for a short time as they've started making noise in the common room, whereas I like to think of it my bedroom. And I kind of wander over to the fire quietly, spill a bunch of coffee into a clay flagon, and I crouch down next to the fireplace on the far left-hand side, and I grab one of the large bricks in it, and I kind of slide it and jiggle it and slide it out of place and put it down beside beside it, and inside there's this little cavity, and in there's a small leather bag which I kind of pull out like a satchel.
Nice.
And I kind of brush it off and open it up. Begin kind of rummaging through it, looking. I take out a small flask and I fill it with some, a splash of whiskey from a bottle in my pack, and tighten it up and put that in there. And I just kind of make sure everything there is in order, and I kind of clip it back together. Check to make sure that there's like this kind of vague sort of rune marked on the front of it, which you can't. It just looks kind of like a discoloration of the leather in the light of the room, but when you push it back into the shadows, it has this faint glow to it. And so I pick up the big rock and I kind of twist it and shove it back into place. Sprinkle a little bit toss a little bit of ash and dirt at the cracks to sort of fill them in, so it doesn't look like it's been moved, and just give it a final sort of brush over. And then I kind of go over and sit on my bench with my coffee warming my hands.
Okay. Balmer, you can wake up at any time. The rest of you are sitting there having breakfast, discussing, I don't know, how you're going to deal with this situation.
Yeah, Balmer will get up early, about maybe 15 minutes after Grim will appear from her bedroom with a book and a pencil, and she will be humming a Dwarven Battle Hymn, and seems to be in a happy mood since she's been on shrooms the entire night, making plans of how to lure and kill Sven. So she has several luring details in her notebook about various methods of luring him out and killing him. So she's in quite a good mood. So she'll be humming the battle hymn for herself and smile as she see her companions. Good morning. And she'll sit down. What a wonderful day.
What's so wonderful about it?
Well, I don't know. The sun shining, whatever you humans seem to like. But don't you think it's so wonderful? We're all alive. We're sitting at a table, surrounded by friends. We have food. I have a pet pig and a saddle.
We do have food.
We have enough money. I have a belly full of shrooms. That's good.
So
this is a good time to be alive.
Intercepting the Sonata. I look around at everyone.
Hmm?
What's the plan?
Make him fall asleep. We could take out one of the carts that we have, or make it even the wagon, and make it appear that we have broken a wheel on the muddy road. And when they get close and stop, Grim and I will use our magic to make them fall asleep, and they will take the book, and we'll be on our merry way.
There are other options.
Yeah, what other options?
Well, we could. I can create other types of diversions.
Such as?
Make well, anything you like, from a squad of soldiers to a low-flying dragon.
Can you make a low-flying dragon?
Well, admittedly, the more plausible I make it, the more likely they are to just accept it.
Well, Joe, the horses pulling the wagons went out of control, because they saw a dragon. How long do you think it'll take them to get them back underway? Would that be strenuous?
Yeah. Other horses or horses of the Senatu?
Their horses, not ours.
If you're saying if you were to spook them, how long would it take to settle them down? It would depend on how spooked they are. Yeah, for many horses in like camels in a wagon train, they are not as easily spooked because they have other horses around them. They have the people around them. It's not like single person on the horse with Wolfhorn Crossroad. It would be difficult, but if they were to become spooked enough that they were to cross their leads, it would not be possible to steer the wagon until this was straightened out, because all of a sudden the right would be left and left would be backwards, and so on and so forth.
Well, my point is that I have many methods of subterfuge. I I can alter myself and others to look like some of their own. I can cover the entire bridge in a cloud of fog. I can make illusions of things that aren't there that can distract them or terrify them or make them consider it. I can turn myself
That's
invisible to be unseen, and
that's well and done. But we don't know how they look, other than we presume they're humans.
If
I'm
we were
I'm simply laying out my capabilities for us to consider.
if we were to take these ideas and perhaps combine them, in that we take the wagon, we put it on road just in front of the bridge, so that when they cross the bridge, they see wagon. If they are suspicious, they will stop on bridge. Stopping on bridge makes them very vulnerable. There's no place to run, no way they can spread out, no high ground. It makes them very compact for assault.
Here's a thought. I still have one of those potions to change an appearance. I know I can do one other person and myself. Now, if it's just us on the bridge, and then they might buy that our wagon broke down, but that would look bloody suspicious to me. If, on the other hand, we look like a woman and two children on the ground, they're not as likely to be suspicious. So maybe have one of us as made to look like an older mother. Have two of the others look like kids, and I can be invisible.
Or play the dead.
Yeah.
The looking like women and children is a very good idea, but I do not think that necessarily if there are 1, 2, 3, 4 of us, that there should be 3 or 4 targets apparent. The more targets they cannot see is better. So if, for instance, if myself and Belmera, if I was old woman and Belmera was child, and you were invisible and Tolrun was hiding next to bridge or on the side of the bridge or whatever, if we could do this and you could cast the fog, this would make it very easy to distract them and to separate them. We have the advantage of bridge. We can push some of them over. Perhaps.
Well, keep in mind that the fog is going to work on all of us, which means that they may not be able to see, but neither will we. I was kind of thinking of saving that for an escape, if need be.
Well, I thought otherwise because it was something you brought up. The other way, at very least, I think the bridge is weakest point in their travel. Because with bridge is only forward or backwards as escape. There is not uphill, downhill, across plains, anything like this.
Well, that is absolutely true. Though, if these folks are worth their salt at all, they'll know that too, and they'll be more likely to be on their guard.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Yes, but this also can turn into a game where we make suggestions and then someone says it will not work because of this.
Yeah, but I mean, let's say that we do this, and they come near us. They're maybe within 50 yards or whatever, and they stop the wagon, and they will send a couple of guys to investigate. That will probably be the tactical sound decision instead of driving the cart up on the bridge, if they are that suspicious as Grim suggests. So in that case, if we have some hiding under the bridge, they can, us on the bridge take care of the people that comes up to us. The other ones will take care of the wagon.
Right. So maybe perhaps Tolrun and I wait on the side that they're going to approach on, just over the edge. Mm-hmm. Tolrun can hide underneath. I can be invisible right near the edge.
Yep.
And when they just as they pass us, they'll see you folks on the bridge. they'll, as Amira says, they'll probably stop, send a couple of their folks over to check out the problem, and then we hit them.
I'm not saying that the wagon is broken down on bridge. If wagon is broken down past bridge, so that the point at which they can respond to it, a portion of them is already on the bridge, is what I was saying.
Block it from the line of sight when they're coming.
Yes.
Well, I was under the understanding it was a long bridge, but yeah, the point, I agree with your point that we get them in the middle.
And we can determine this if we were to leave. We have what today, tomorrow, next day before they are coming. We can travel up to Cerner. We can inspect the bridge and road, surrounding area. It will help us know what line of sight there is. If it is impossible for a toll room to hide under a bridge, it may not be. But we could check this out and make a better decision once we are there, assuming that they have not sent advanced scouts or something. But I do not see why they necessarily would. But then again...
That's fair enough.
Makes sense.
So, we go check out bridge. If
So,
everything is how we imagined, then we use plan of Grim Invisible, toll room hiding, Belmira, myself, a child, old woman, broken wagon on bridge. This much we know. Now, once it past this point, do we try and perhaps Grim, you stay with your magic invisible, maybe sneak amongst them and find the book? Because if we can take book without them knowing, so much better.
Indeed. If I can get the book, I can actually teleport away with it. And,
Yes,
that's true, but I mean, I could get the book from a distance if I can see it. I'm not sure if I can see it, but
well, I'm guessing it's not going to be
It'll probably be covered.
sitting in the front seat with the driver. I'm assuming they're going to have it probably locked in a box. Or
the real question is, what do we do about these Tsunachi?
if we can
if we
get
get
it
the book
without
without
fighting
killing
them.
any of them.
Yes, exactly.
But if we have to fight them,
Then
do
we kill them.
fight?
Then we killed them, every one of them.
There is no sense in committing to violence for people who are evil if we are not going to simply stop them permanently.
Okay.
And it's honestly best if we don't let word of who did it get back to whoever they work for.
Yes, because if it is connected to us, then there is fear that my family, Tolrune's monastery, your
Our house.
dwarfkin, any of them, or this town, or even the lady herself. If it gets back, then we have ultimately failed. So, if this is something we are doing, there cannot be witnesses.
Okay, so if we do this and all that, should we make it appear as they are attacked by orcs? Maybe take one of those battle axes that we have from the other orcs and leave behind?
Here's the thing. That is clever, but is also saying that if someone comes by and they say, "Oh, these people are attacked by orcs. We should form up a lynching mob and go after orcs." We have invited more violence against orcs. That was not their fault in this case.
But the orcs nearby here are raiders and thieves.
Yes, I understand this, but
Not including you, of course.
well, by a simple token of what we are doing, we are also raiders and thieves. Is not a bad idea.
I guess
But
that's-
what, Tolrun, what do you say about all of it, but especially about leaving X or X's behind?
It doesn't matter. I mean, the orcs are gonna raid. That's not raiding encampment, right? They're gonna doing that to everyone in the area.
Mhm.
This will just appear to be another one. And if the Sonatu aren't well liked, and according to Ivan, they're known to not be well liked, I don't think anyone will care.
Look,
So this is not a matter of the Sonatu bosses thinking that this is just
honestly,
due to an orc raiding party, and given that they already lost the book to them.
This makes sense.
honestly, it's probably just better to make it all go away. We are developing quite a collection of horses and wagons.
It is possible. We take wagon, we take horses, we sell them to the lovely halfling lady.
Yes, but I mean, as you pointed out, Grim, with a little subterfuge, we could, if we could, I mean, just for.
Oh, that's obviously Plan A.
Yes, Plan A: steelbook, no conflict. Plan B: kill everyone.
I'm there with you.
Yeah,
But
but
if we-
even if we kill everyone, if let's say the Sonata sends someone out to investigate, and they will find something that will point towards this is an orc raiding party, then we will have there will be a
Plausible
chance that
deniability.
they will blame it on the orcs and not blame it on.
Is
And
it
the
possible,
lady,
Grim, that you could give Tolrun potion, the orc potion? He drinks it, yes?
Yeah.
And you use war magic, you also look like orc. Can you look like orc and also be invisible same time?
Yes.
If this is case, then when the assault happens, anybody who sees it will not remember little old lady or child. They will remember orc. If word spreads, it will be orc as word spread.
Just as a matter of point, I'm going to be fairly exhausted with magic by the time this all comes down, which is going to leave me pretty much with I'll be able to basically set fire to the entire bridge or electrocute everyone on it. Most of my other, shall we say, more subtle spells might not be available if I do all this other stuff.
That's cool.
What if, and hear me out, what if we go to Avalov and ask him about potion to look like orc, and have two potions, so that spell magic for you is in potion, not something you have to do.
Well, honestly, if it comes down to a fight, I'll have. Do you remember that? Do you remember that fire I did?
Yes.
I can probably manage 3 of those. Before I'll need to take a rest. Or I could, as I say, bring some lightning on them and stop them that way. But I can do probably 3. And I might have a few other little minor tricks up my sleeve here and there, but it's I think we'll be okay.
Okay, so what? 3 lightning and 3 fire, or 3 lightning and or fire?
Well, three of either or, but not 3 of each.
Okay.
Or I could do, a really amazing illusion, if it came down to it.
Well, maybe you could make it appear as there are many more orcs.
Yeah, that could be too. But well, they say that no plan survives first contact with the enemy. So I think we've probably gone as far as we can in planning. After that, it's gonna just sort of start blowing in the wind, and we'll have to adapt to whatever happens.
Yep.
It is very important with the Sonatsu. We know some of them are capable of magic, like Grim, but we do not know if any of them are capable of divine magics. I would imagine some of them probably are. when this debacle happens, we need to try and stay as best as possible somewhere where I can see you.
Understood.
Because there is likelihood they are very powerful. And unfortunately, if I cannot see you, there is no way for me to ask Joaquin to heal you.
I understand. Well, if it looks like they have any significant arcane or divine casters in their group, and it looks like it's getting dangerous, I may. That might be when I'll drop the cloud of fog on the bridge and just
Well, maybe
blind them.
maybe we should agree if they have any mages or priests among them, we will go after those first. Those will be the primary target.
Yes, if there are,
Agreed.
if anybody is capable of arcane magics like Grim, they must be a #1 priority. Secondly, if anyone tries to flee, they must become priority because A, they may have book. B, if they run far enough away, we do not know if there's another caravan of Sanatu following them by a couple of
Right.
minutes or.
So how about if we say if one of them tries to flee, it will be Torun's priority to run him down.
Yes.
Torun is the fastest
Agreed.
one of
Mhm.
us.
Agreed. But if Torun is otherwise indisposed or unconscious or anything else, then I'll be next in line. I have, as I said, a few tricks I can use to catch up to him.
When it comes to battle on bridge, hopefully we can stick them between rock and hard place.
Maybe rocking a hot place.
If I can be on one side, one end of bridge, with Belmira, a lot of my prayers are capable of blocking off and making very difficult traveling through without being injured. I can hold one end of bridge by myself.
Good. If needs be, I can probably hold the other.
And this would leave Tolrun and Belmira to engage in the hand-to-hand of sorts.
Well, they wouldn't be alone. I mean, I'm sure you and I could probably
Yes.
assist from a distance as well.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. Is like I can support everybody from one end of bridge, and Tolrun and Belmira, as long as they are not overwhelmed, should be able to handle most of people in the middle.
Do we know exactly how big this caravan is going to be?
And
I don't
no.
think we do. But we do have something vaguely resembling a plan.
This is almost scary.
That means it's almost certain to go wrong. But
Yes.
we expect that.
I suppose, last-ditch effort, if everything is going poorly, we could just simply take out bridge.
That is an option.
What if it's what if it's a stone construction made by dwarves? Then you're not just gonna be able to take it out.
Acid.
Lots.
Lots of acid.
Are we going to bring lots and lots of acid there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
do acid, you won't see the bridge.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Bemero says as
Alright.
he takes the last piece of bacon.
If we are trying to stop them, Grim, in your opinion, is it better idea with wagon and woman child, or can your magic make bridge look like it is already broken?
Well, that's a good point. I could make the bridge look broken. Again, with illusions, my experience has been that the more plausible it is, the less they're going to be looking for
Yes.
looking for subterfuge. So
Plus, if bridge is broken, there's no way to get them on bridge and trap them. So I guess woman, child, and wagon ahead of bridge, far enough that a chunk of them must be on bridge by time they see it.
I mean, if they're not expecting an illusion, chances are they'll buy it. But if again, if it looks, strange to them in any way, it's more possible they'll see through it. If they're caught off guard, of course, then they should buy it no matter what. But it would make more sense, as an example, to have a horde of orcs charging at them than having a dragon swoop out of the sky, which is less plausible.
If they have a caster like you, Kieran, wouldn't they see through it?
Not necessarily if they're not looking for it. Again, if it's plausible enough, then they don't. There's going to be a time until they interact with it. It may only buy us, a few seconds. Could buy us more, depending on what kind of illusion it is.
This fog you mentioned before.
Yeah.
Can you place that on the road?
So I can place it anywhere.
So they have to go through the fog before they get to the bridge. So they kind of have to be on the bridge before they spot us.
I could, but it's a fairly localized fog. That alone would be suspicious.
Okay. But if it
I mean, let's put it this way: if you were walking down the road and it was a clear day, and you saw this cloud of fog sitting in the middle of the road, would you go through it?
Well, I'm thinking maybe you could make it appear as if it was coming from the river and kind of like rolling over.
I don't have quite as much control of that as I would an illusion. I suppose I could do an illusion of fog, but
well, I mean, if the objective is to get them around the bridge and kind of take them in.
Well, they're going to go on the bridge of their own volition anyway. I mean, they need to go that way. So our job is just to take them out to catch them off guard.
Sure,
Yes.
but depending on how suspicious they are, they might not want to drive their wagon up on the bridge. Instead, just send some fighters along to clear the bridge.
That is why the wagon and woman child is far enough ahead that the bulk of caravan must be on bridge before.
Okay, I know this is gonna sound maybe bad, but how about instead of an elderly woman and a child, there'll be two young girls, so they will have some incentive to do wild things to them.
I look at you again, very perplexed.
So the question is, how far are you willing to go to complete this mission?
No, but I mean, if you're that mindset, and if you take Aaron's word for it that they are basically 100% scumbags, this would not be out of the question for them, right? So if we have something, we set up a scene that would let them, the lust, take over, and kind of like the guards, they will lower the guards, so they will say, "Oh, easy pickings."
Yeah. Well, I suppose it's a good point.
Maybe we can learn more by the promise of that instead of the promise
Possibly.
of getting up and talking to an old woman and helping her with a wagon.
I suppose that's true. We're thinking of it in terms of us. We would stop to help an old woman and a child, but they might not. So I suppose it's a good point.
If this is the case, I wonder, they may be too suspicious, and say so if it is, but what if a young woman and young elf woman is doubly incentivized to stop? These individuals have a predilection for wanting to speak to elves.
There you go. And we've seen some recently, so that I should be able to manage that pretty convincingly.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right. So instead, Belmira and Jodat will appear to be two attractive young women, one elf and one human, and
two damsels in distress, ready for the picking.
Yes.
essentially, yeah. We can have, we'll just kind of wedge the wagon kind of against the bridge, and we'll take our least favorite beast and have him pull in it.
I mean, we could disable the. I mean, to make it more. I mean, it's often the little things that you overlook. But if we sabotage one of our wagon wheels to make it look as this is the cause of that they are on the bridge.
It is easy enough for me to take one of the wheels and cut it in such a way that within a few rotations it will break and look natural. So when we set up trap, I will simply cut wheel, drive it forward a little bit, it will break and fall how it falls. This will look much more natural than us placing it.
Yes, and when we need to go back, I know magic that will mend the wheel. So.
And there we go.
Yes, excellent plan. And when we get back, we will go kill Sven and see closest to a book.
I just imagine it's that very pointed period, and we'll go kill Sven.
Now they're all agreed on that?
Dong, meeting adjourned.
No takes backsies. It's agreed. You all agreed to it. See, just as a side, that's actually how stuff works in the U.S. government, by the way. That's what they do with laws. War
in Iraq, no takebacks.
No, someone put out a very reasonable law. They'll say okay, we're going to give this money to feed orphans, and then someone will tack on a rider that says, oh, and we have to give $12 million to these rich guys for no really apparent reason.
Yep.
It's so it's you either voting. If you vote for it, then you give this money to these rich people. If you vote against it, you're starving orphans.
Right. Yeah. If you vote against it, what do you have against orphans? Oh my God! What
Exactly.
Kind of
they do crappy stuff like that all the time, right? Where they'll take some sort of land protecting act and then tie in something that would
completely unrelated.
Yeah, disable freedom of speech in Kentucky.
Right.
It's what does spotted owls in Alaska have to do with freedom of speech in Kentucky, guys?
Exactly.
It's childish that it actually passes, but
so that's just that was what Bill Murray did just there.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically, what I'm saying is the party needs a line item veto.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we have a rough plan.
Yep. Okay. So do you guys want to go there now? So if you left now to get there, you could get there maybe a few hours before dark. You wouldn't get back to Crossmeet though before light. You'd sort of be forced to either stay at the Godstone or go to Cerner, because you got almost 2 days, not quite 2 days, and it's about 10 hours there. So maybe you want to go to Cerner first and go check it out the next day. It's totally up to you. Just tell me how you want to do it.
Well, if we leave from here today, we're gonna have too much spare time on our hands. If we leave and head to Cerner, and then so you said Cerner is only about 4 hours from the bridge, then we know that we'd have another solid day worth of spending time in Cerner.
Yeah, you could go there. You mentioned checking it out first. So you could go there on the 15th to see it. However you want to do it.
Ooh, so I think if we left here, went to Cerner, stayed in Cerner, rode out the next day, looked at everything, so we weren't seeing it from the direction that they would be coming from.
Yep.
And don't we have that kit to look at?
Yeah, we also have that kit we promised to check in a couple of months ago.
Might as well do that.
So, yeah, we can do that. So I guess we can, once everybody's packed up and ready to go, we'll head up to Cerner.
Yeah, Grim is ready. So.
Okay, so you guys make the trip to Cerner. As I said, it's slightly warmer than it's been lately. The There's the road is mostly just hard mud with maybe a wee bit of give to it in the middle, and then along the edges there's still about half an inch to an inch of snow. There's a little bit more off the road. The trip to Cerner goes uneventful. I mean, you certainly pass a few travelers and merchants who nod and greet you as normal. When you arrive in Cerner, it's about an hour before dark. Cerner is about a quarter, maybe a third the size of Crossmeet. There is only one real inn tavern, and the sign out front of this place, you can see that the part of the sign is broken off, and it says the Potato Eye, and the NN of inn is broken off. So that is the place you're looking at, the Potato Eye. Inside, you can find the proprietor. Well, it was called the Potato Inn, but as I said, the sign.
I don't know that.
You can see that the sign's broken off. It's not that hard to extrapolate, I'm just saying.
Alright.
Inside, the Potato Inn is run by an elderly dwarven male named Rokin. He's got a long gray beard, mostly bald on top, gray hair. The Potato Inn itself, the Potato Eye, there's only a few patrons in it at the moment.
Okay.
I will be really disappointed if they don't have lots of potatoes in the menu.
Yeah.
Dwarven potato chips and stuff.
Oh, but then I will go up to the innkeeper.
Hey. I mean, hello.
Hello. Access high, and she will do the handshake, secret arm thing.
Okay. All right. He reaches out, greets you dwarven style. Where he makes contact with your arm, it's a little bit wet because the rag he'd been cleaning the glass with was kind of wet.
That's okay. So I'm traveling with my companions here, and we are in need of a good, healthy, hearty meal. And maybe you will have some, I don't know, potato spirits to warm up.
I got that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
cookies, all a meal, and a place to sleep. I imagine if you're here this hour.
Yeah, that would be lovely.
Yes. Well, we don't want 4 rooms. We just want if you have a room that will accompany all of us, that would be great.
Don't think I do.
Okay. Well, if you have, we can be in 2 rooms, if that's possible.
I can do that. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a hard time to make a living, and all the. She will extrapolate on that, going on how tough it is in these times, and she doesn't have that much money. And
so, Rokin responds like with similar tales of woe and poverty. How slow business has been lately. How few merchants have been coming through.
As they're both going back and forth bemoaning their existence, I just kind of like slowly turn and look at Jawdad. I kind of lean over and say, "Are they all like this?" No one likes.
So, eventually, Rokin directs you or suggests you sit down, and he'll bring you guys all some meals and keys for rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'll sit down and tavern's a tavern. Put my pack down. I drag over a chair from a nearby table that's not occupied, and I'll prop my pack down on that, and kind of lean back in the chair.
Okay, so after a while, a short while, Rokin, he comes out from behind the bar. You can see he's bent over a little bit. He walks with like a very minor limp. He comes over to your table and he puts down 4 glasses metallic goblets rather, that are filled with an alcoholic clear liquid.
Nice.
I'll bring you all a special plate. It'll fill ye.
Sounds good, my good man. Well,
Yeah.
here's for a successful journey so far. And she raises her glass and extends
I raise mine. I raise mine.
toast.
I raise mine as well. Not so much to toast, but to look at it, like look at the light from a nearby lamp, kind of showing through it as I kind of turn it. And
I'm guessing the dwarven version of a toast is something like, may my enemy's skulls be crushed by my hammer or something like that.
that's reasonable.
May all your ore finds be gold.
Did you say orify? Like plural of orifice?
Ore finds.
Ah, sorry.
That's kind of, it could be misunderstood.
I mean, gold orifice is interesting, but no.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We don't want that. We didn't order that.
That's a big city thing. So I'll look through it, kind of smell it. Considering my background, I know a bit about poisons, so I just give it a quick sniff.
The liquid you were just served? That's what you're checking?
Yeah.
Okay, so make me maybe a knowledge check.
Mara has already drowned half the glass.
Just straight up intelligence.
Yeah, or if you can think of something appropriate, like if you got something lore connected to this, but it seems to be...
Yeah, not specifically, but just the straight up intelligence is pretty good too. So it's 21.
Okay, so you think that it's an alcoholic beverage, and it might also be mildly poisonous, but as a side product, not as intentional.
Yeah, most alcohol is mildly poisonous, so I accept that. So I'll take kind of a tentative sip to see if it's pleasant enough to warrant the ingestion of the poison part.
Since dwarves have dwarven resilience, where they get an advantage on fortitude save or constitution save against poison, I'm guessing dwarven made alcohol is taking that into account and is more potent.
This stuff is definitely like homemade vodka. Emphasis on the homemade. So, well, good on effectiveness, not so good on taste.
Yeah, it's still once.
Speaking of alcohol, I picked up a new wine today. It's called Insomnia, and it's not bad. It's a Cabernet, but the interesting thing is that I don't know if you remember as a kid that those pictures they had kind of like a texture to them, and if you tilt them, the picture changes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You tilt it and it changes somehow. Well, this one is just like a pair of eyes, and it's like a dark blue, and as you turn the bottle, the eyes kind of slowly close and then open again. It's really cool. Sorry, I was filling my glass and it's awesome. Anyway, so I'll drink my drink and make myself at home while I ponder what to eat. Probably potatoes.
Baked potatoes.
Baked potatoes, spam.
Potato stew.
Yeah. You're served actually not regular potatoes. You're served thick pork chops, and you're served like kind of like potato chips, but thick potato chips.
Excellent. Yeah, so I'll enjoy the new fare and I how long were we on the road for?
4 hours, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
No, one day. It took you a day to get to Cerner.
Okay.
It's dark now. Yeah.
Okay, so it's evening. We're been on the road all day, so I just kind of enjoy myself let the warmth of the drink kind of flow through me, and I just kind of quietly just look about the room to get a feel for the local people, which I assume there's enough local people here.
There's a few. It's not terribly crowded, but there's definitely a few in here. Mixed races, much as in Crossmeet. It's
Okay.
This place is about a tenth the size of the 3.
Yeah, I figured. But it's always good to kind of suss up the locals and their mood. That's what I do.
So Bamara will eat her food and bring out her book and start making doodles and noting some stuff in it. And after a while, she'll look up. I know Grimm's opinion, but how are you other feeling about poisoning someone?
Is this literally just something you bring up in conversation?
It is.
like I take the bite of pork chop back out of my mouth.
Yeah. I just start chewing my food slower.
Yeah, poisoning who? In why? And in what way? In like a poisoned arrow is different than putting poison in drink.
Well, I'm considering various methods of taking Sven down, and one of them was.
Hang on.
I was thinking maybe poisoning his well or something on his lips, or maybe. You know.
Once it becomes talk about killing Sven, I sort of go back to eating and switch over to only half listening to whatever insanity comes up. Yes, well, it's a good idea, yes.
Okay, so Bamara will spend as much time as Grimm wants to talk about the various poisons and the effect in water and all this.
Yeah, I just kind of, look at him and then occasionally nod, just to let her think I'm listening. But but in my head, I'm kind of going over scenarios and how to sort of disavow our relationship with her should she come up on trial for murder.
We don't know.
Well, yeah. I'm working
you want the other wizard.
Yeah, exactly. He's dead. Didn't you hear? So, yeah. I'm trying to focus. But, yeah, so I'm just going to basically, not much. I don't think there's much else we're going to be doing tonight, so.
Okay.
I'm kind of focused on just, relaxing after a long day on the road. Smoking a pipe for a while.
If there's nothing you guys want to accomplish tonight, then cross off 1 crown each, and definitely cheaper than the 3. Plus, the drinks are strong, so you probably don't need to order as many to get the same effect involved.
That may not stop Balmera, but
that's true indeed. Balmera, if you want to drink more, feel free.
No, she doesn't like the flavor of it.
You guys, yeah, it's 5 out of 10 at best, even for homemade, in your opinion. You guys can pair up any way you like. You just let me know. 2 to a room.
I get to a room.
1 and 3.
Actually, that may very well happen.
Bamara would be like, oh, just like in summer camp.
Knock, knock. Can I sleep with you guys?
Yeah.
So how are you hooking up?
So me and Tolrone, because we know how better wizards are.
We spend the night with glasses at the wall.
No, we spend the night with pillows over our heads and swords drawn pointed at the local furniture. Like, not this time.
I can just imagine like Gordon Belmare like just putting this stuff down, then Belmare just smashes a table. It just saved me.
Now you owe me.
Maybe you have to pay for the table.
No, I'll pay for the table. It's okay. Here you go.
So the evening passes without incident. In the morning when you come downstairs, there's only a few patrons again. In addition to what you got for your money for the room, Roken gives you each a free cup of coffee, but it's really thick coffee.
Excellent.
Really strong. Really strong.
Excellent. This may be my favorite big vacation spot.
Strong liquor, cheap room, and strong coffee.
Yeah, man, what could you want?
Yeah.
That should be their advertising slogan.
And it's easy to get a room outside the season. So
That's right. Cheap rooms, strong liquor, stronger coffee. The potato eye.
Yeah.
Everybody can make a lore check, so maybe an intelligence check.
Okay.
I got a 17.
Oh, natural 20. So that's it. That's a lot.
Okay, so from the brief time you spend in Cerner, you learn that Cerner, about 70 or 80 years ago, was largely destroyed in something that the locals refer to as the Giant Wars. It was rebuilt, and there's been an unsteady truce since then, so an unofficial truce since then.
I assume they mean literal giants.
Yep.
Or was
in fact,
maybe the wall was just big? Oh, okay, never mind.
Right.
no, literal giants, hill giants, mainly. The front army won, but it took a while. The war lasted for over a year, and there was a lot of dead by the end of it. You eventually beat the giants back. That was about 7 years ago, and then the town was rebuilt.
Okay.
So there might be a few monuments around. There might be a few old veterans around, that kind of thing.
There might be a few dead giant skeletons outside for me to animate and use in an upcoming battle.
I won't say no.
Well, I know what I'm looking for when we go out looking.
So it's the morning of the 15th.
Oh, this is Oahu. I thought it said Oahu, and I was like, what?
You guys haven't eaten yet, but you have had some thick coffee, and it's about 4 hours to that bridge, roughly.
We can probably make. It's possible we take food. We just eat at bridge, stopping, having lunch, and exploring looks a lot less shady than walking up and down bridge and looking around.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable enough. I'm gonna go to the innkeeper. Say, how much would it cost to put together a kind of a picnic lunch? Yeah, just some bread, cheese, basic stuff. Cold chicken if you've got it.
I can make it something.
I
He
would
turns.
appreciate it.
He doesn't answer your question. He just goes into the kitchen and starts making it.
I just kind of shout after him. For 4. No, I mean, make that 5.
I
nod as I sit on one of the stools at the bar and kind of finishing my coffee. Kind of appreciating the slight tingling on my tongue and the and the buzz in my ears as the as the caffeine just assaults my brain.
Yeah, you could almost chew it.
Yeah.
Not many know it, but this is how Grim he restore his spent spell levels.
That's right. This is my mana drink.
Coffee of rejuvenation. So Roken comes back out about 10 minutes later, and he's got a basket, not a basket rather, but like a towel that's tied. All four corners are tied, and inside you can see a few little things bulging, and he hands it to you. It says 5 nobles.
And I nod and okay. I nod and I'll give him 6.
Okay.
I say, well, thank you. We'll probably be coming back to our rooms tonight.
Aye.
Tell me, does the inn ever get busy?
In the summertime, sometimes. Not too much travel through here in the winter. It's cold, and those that come through don't stay long.
Yeah.
I cannot blame them. There's not much to see here, really.
Yeah. Yes. Well, appreciate your hospitality. We'll see you tonight. If you could keep the same rooms for us, we'd appreciate that. We appreciate the habit.
Yep. Nods.
I nod and I pick up the pouch of food and I go over to the others and say, we're all set for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone there?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And so I guess we'll go take a look at the bridge.
Okay. So the weather today is actually slightly warmer than the previous day, and there's not much snow left on the road at all. There's still about an inch or so off the road. And let me just zoom that out for you. There we go. How's that?
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So you ride the 4 hours. You pass, a few merchants, a few travelers on the coast road. Not many, but a few.
Mm-hmm.
When you turn onto the Gallifore Road, between the coast road and the Gallifore Bridge, you only pass one person. Seems to be like a farmer. About halfway between. When you reach the bridge itself, it is the area is empty except for a gnome who is standing. Sorry, not a gnome, a halfling standing on a box, and he's on the bridge around the middle, and he's got a fishing pole going over the bridge into the water. There is a little pony grazing not too far from him.
Okay.
So just to give you some description, because you guys want to make plans. So the bridge is about 90 feet long. The river itself is about 75 feet wide, shallow at the sides, deep in the middle, slow flowing along the edges, swift flowing along the center of it.
Okay.
Okay. So any other questions you want to ask about what's where, you just go ahead.
The bridge's construction is stone?
It's wooden timbers, like basically logs all smacked together like a great big raft kind of thing.
Okay.
Fairly big
how
trees.
wide is
The bridge about 30 feet wide.
Okay.
And the railing on the sides, if it has it, how tall is that?
The railing is maybe 3 feet.
Okay. So there's plenty of room, like under the bridge, if someone wanted to, like, climb underneath.
Yeah, it's about 30 feet down. You can see just to the right there. It's about 30 feet down till you hit the water, and it kind of slopes to that. Now there is a lot of trees everywhere, but when you get close to the river, it's mostly just grass. There isn't any. There's very, very few trees that go right up to the river.
Gotcha. All right. So I'll kind of hop off the wagon and I'll kind of stroll out onto the bridge, kind of looking around.
So the halfling kind of glances over at you. He nods, smiles at you, and then he goes back to fishing.
I say, "Hey, friend, how's the fishing today?"
Hello. One so far.
Nice. Have you seen anything unusual happening around here lately?
No. Have you?
No, not so far. But we're from Crossmeet, by the way. We occasionally do some work for the for Crossmeet and some of the towns in the area, and there've been rumors of orc raiding parties. Not
Ooh.
in the immediate area, but nearby. So we're sort of just asking around to see if anyone's heard of anything like that.
Those tales of bandits a few 10 days ago, but I haven't heard anything of orcs.
We heard about that. Well, appreciate your any information you have. We're trying to keep the road safe for everyone.
Oh, good luck to you with that.
And to you with your fishing.
Thank you.
And I'll kind of wander over to the opposite side of the bridge and kind of peer over, kind of lean on the thing, peering over to into the water.
Okay.
Looking as if I'm just kind of enjoying the scenery, but I'm sort of, getting a better lay of the land and, where rocks are and where cover is and that sort of thing.
Sure. So I'll just give him a little description, and you can go ahead, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
So the river itself seems fairly rock-free. Like there's few to no large prominent rocks. As I said, it's swiftly flowing through the middle, swift enough that there's occasional bit of froth. You know what I mean? Just a little. But along the sides, about 10 feet and 10 feet on both sides, it's shallower and slower moving. The water's more sluggish there. Tall grass goes right up to the river, but no trees really. The trees are all about 15 feet back or so.
I'm kind of looking down at the water. Does it look like if I went over the edge in the middle, that it would be pretty safe to hit the water without hitting massive rocks and stuff?
Easily.
Okay.
Easily.
It's
probably likely in the summer. Kids, do that for fun here.
Yeah. All right. Excellent.
Sorry, Steve. You go ahead.
So the road seems like it's fairly straight. So the line of sight across that bridge, there's not much elevation to this land, right? So basically, you're going to be able to see across the bridge for a good distance. Is that correct?
I'm very sorry. I kind of just as you started speaking. I'm sorry.
You're fired.
Fire my internet connection.
The land has almost no elevation to it, right? So that you can easily see across the bridge for a good distance.
That is correct. Yeah, it's negligible elevation. The only real elevation is from the road to the river, or from the ground to the river, sloping up.
Right.
But other than that, yeah, the road itself it's pretty level.
But the bridge itself is flat. It doesn't arch like a stone bridge would.
That's correct. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
So, and it's what, about 600 feet from the bridge to Silton Road? Is that right? If I'm ballparking that correctly?
Sure.
That's what it looks like.
I guessed it at about 1,000 feet, maybe, but maybe 600, 900. Yeah, sure, something like that. I don't know.
All right. So, is it possible we have wagon at a crossroad?
Yeah, I like that idea.
And
by the way, we're not talking within earshot of the halfling. Just
not without having to murder him.
No problem.
as you and I sort of walk away talking strategy, Belmera comes up behind him and knifes him in the back.
I hope you remember the Scotty.
Stops over the edge.
I was really concerned about that when Rob started with
Picks up his fish.
I was like, crap.
And, oh shit, it's a gnome.
Right. So if Wagon is there, perhaps at first Sanatsu will be arrogant enough to think that they can just continue riding towards us, the elf and the lady, thinking that they will get out of the way. We are important people, and then when they see elf and lady, perhaps they will stop. And by this time, it is hope that a majority of people will be on bridge.
Well, yeah, but if it's, if that's what 800 to 1,000 feet or 600 feet, as I'm kind of looking over, if we wait for them to get out, they'll be off the bridge by the time.
Yeah, perhaps, unless they have, like Belmera suggested, unless they have front riders as scouts.
Well, it would certainly be more plausible if the wagon appeared to be traveling down Stilton Road when it broke down at the crossroads. Less suspicious. But just so we're aware, they could get off the bridge and out into the space between the road and the bridge before we were able to do what we need to do. I guess my point is we'll lose control of the situation if we stretch them out too far.
Hell, can we put what do they call it? A twist on plan, a just in case. If it looks contingency, yes. If it appears from the way that the Sonata are traveling that they are not advanced guards far enough, that the 600,000 feet becomes too much, then we can change plans so that Belmera and myself, upon seeing the Sanatsu, can start saying, please help, and go towards them. This would cause whatever traveling is happening to stop. So if it appears that they might be getting off bridge, then we can go running towards them saying, help. Well, this would cause bulk of party to stop, yes?
Possibly. I'm having a slight reconsideration here of the plan. No. It's minor. Rather than having the broken down wagon, what if you waited at the intersection
and traveling towards them?
Well, yeah, and as soon as they start down toward the bridge, you start as well toward the bridge, and so you meet them at the bridge.
Oh,
so you could just be travelers.
The only problem with this is the wagon and the animal would then be within range of being hurt and destroyed.
Well, that's got to be a risk, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But then we're also going to be at range being destroyed as well.
Yes, but I am willing to risk your life.
Gosh,
The animals, on the other hand, they cannot decide for themselves. No, I think this is a good change to plan.
If we could have the wheel break like as you're approaching, that would be impressive.
I believe this can be done. Rob, can I do that with a little bit of jury rigging and a lot of animal handling from having driven wagons and stuff before?
You want to have the wheel break at a particular time?
Yeah. Within a particular time, so that if
it doesn't have to be super specific. Yeah, just.
But like if I knew the distance between the bridge and Silton Road were 1,000 feet, is it possible for me to rig it so that I know that after riding it more than 500 feet, if I start hitting rocks in the road and bumps, that I could cause it to break over the next few moments.
You could break it, then put it back together in a really bad way. So when it does hit like a rock or something, it will break.
So I'll say you can set it up to break in the very soon, but maybe not exactly when you want it. So I'll have you sort of like make it rolls for when it does kind of break.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So yeah, as long as I know that I could travel the first 500 feet, and after that, from foot 501 to foot 1,000, it might break. Anywhere within that, half of that travel distance from the road, from Sultan Road to the bridge. Is that too specific?
Yeah, I think like it could break sort of at any time after the first little bit. I think it might be a little too far to be certain that it could go, but.
What you might be able to do is I suppose you put it back together in such a way that you put a wooden pin in that you could yank the pin out.
Yep. Yep. You could jury rig something that way. Yeah,
But
that makes sense.
That's gonna.
So you're in control.
Well, no, that's actually not too bad because we can just have you use Mage Hand to pull the pen out.
Yeah.
I could.
So you look like you look like the elf lady or the human, whichever. You could be riding in the back of. You look like the elf riding in the back of it. I'll look like the lady driving you.
Mhm.
And then when we get to a certain point, I'll. It's possible at a certain point I give you signal, and you use magic and the brake wheel.
Okay.
So you guys have the four of you and the wagon, like the big wagon you got from Golf, that wagon?
Talrud and I would still be on the far side of the bridge waiting, undercover. So the book people would go past us. Then the other wagon would be coming in the other direction. The wheel would break, distract them with this, these damsels in distress. And then
Right. Plus, the broken wagon puts an obstacle in the way of them continuing.
Right.
Oh, look at this.
And then essentially, I would be invisible, and then I would move up and try and see if I could find the book without them noticing.
Right.
And see what I can do to get away with it. If I can't get away with it, like if it's in a box that's too big for me to move, or if it's
where you can't load it getting fast enough.
Then at that point,
we let slip the dogs of war.
Yeah, pretty much. So I say, well, if I can't find the book immediately, or if it's in a situation where I can't simply grab it and get out of there, then I'll have to we'll have to do some sort of signal. Now, that signal could just be me attacking with a vulgar display of power, which would be pretty obvious if you see.
We must be careful not to damage the book.
Well, obviously, I would not do that. But
I think perhaps if you were to let out blood-curdling scream before releasing your magic, this would give us. It would cause everyone who is near Belmera and myself to look your direction. This gives us a moment of surprise, as well as gives Tolrun an audible cue for what is going on, so he does not have to try and witness your spell.
All right.
But also makes you a center of target is maybe not a good idea. I have seen a wizard bludgeoned to death by chair.
I say, yeah, thanks, Rob. Too soon.
I say as I pat my chair leg on.
Hey, it's been 20 sessions. We can joke about it now.
That's right.
Not too soon, Dan.
Oh, sure. So I say, don't worry. It'll be very obvious when if I have to attack. If you hear no such thing, then flirt with the gentleman as best you can, and go on your merry way.
Right. And when the wheel breaks, Belmira, would you like to be, air quotes here, thrown from wagon so that you are not inside wagon when everything goes down? You could use your acrobatics and land safely. But also, this would allow you to not be inside of wagon when conflict starts.
Okay. Makes sense. So if I'm playing the elf,
Mm-hmm.
will it be my human handmaiden or something?
Yes, essentially. You will be dressed finely, I will be dressed not so finely. And when they approach, you could continue rules by not, what is the word, dignifying them with response. I could babble for a little bit about how you do not speak to commoners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
This will buy time for Grim to search around, and also give you chance to eyeball everybody to determine who might be the arcane or divine users, so that we know who is target. So if I see you specifically, once conflict has arisen, going after one person, I will know to ignore person in front of me and help you with that person, because they are determined to be a larger threat. When Tolrun gets up onto the bridge, he likewise can join in with that person, so that whoever is most dangerous is taken out first. Obviously, if Tolrun comes on the bridge and person has glowing greatsword or something, that should be Tolrun's primary focus.
Mm-hmm.
Is treat him like pig and punch him.
Uh-huh.
Yes? No?
Okay, so once Grim screams loudly, I go in and start punching.
Yes. And
Got it.
if you do not see someone who looks extremely dangerous, you will punch whoever Belmira is attacking, because she is trying to single out the most dangerous target. Someone that must be taken out first. And then if there's someone fleeing, you will try to chase them down, and we will continue taking care of business on bridge.
Yep. Take care of anyone with special abilities of any kind, then take out runners. Got it.
I think this is a good plan.
Yeah.
I hope. I think change of a wagon coming towards them, perhaps this is better and even not as suspicious as a broken down wagon. Because they will witness breakdown in front of them.
Yes, makes sense.
Exactly. All right. Well,
Now, on side question, if Halfling is here fishing tomorrow,
well,
And pay him.
he'll witness he'll witness a rather dramatic battle. None of us gonna look like ourselves, and if myself and Torun looking like orcs, it'll be all the more convincing.
fair enough. And like Tolborn said, worst case scenario, we buy his silence. I look at Belmera. Buy his silence.
I nod on a wink. I got it. Sorry.
In my head, I just see Belmera sitting in a nice wingback chair in front of a fireplace with halfling heads and gnome heads adorning the wall, much like a hunter would have bears and caribou.
Right. It could happen.
Yeah,
Next, some gnome skulls.
I like this plan. We should plan more.
Well, let's see how this plan works first, and then we can decide if we want to do this more.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
if this plan doesn't work, we're never planning again.
Okay, so should we go back to Sterna and look up this kid?
Well,
Yes, unless we
we-
want to look around for a giant skeleton.
well, we also have a picnic lunch, and I pick up the little pack and I wave it.
Actually, yes, lunch is good.
So
Yes,
I'll go off the road and pick a spot in the grass and spread out a blanket and put down the picnic lunch and sit down.
Okay, so the good news is that the food is pretty good. There is 3/4 of a wheel of cheese in there. There's a loaf, a fresh-made loaf, and there are a bunch of thick sort of wafer crackers, cookie crackers, kind of sweet crackers. But the way he packed it, the cheese kind of put a big dent in the bread and broke some of the crackers into fragments.
Yeah.
Other than that, food is edible.
That's okay.
It'll taste the same. It all goes in the same hole.
And comes out the same hole.
That's right.
Wait, what?
Oh, sorry. You're Canadian. It doesn't do that in Canadian.
Right. What hole you put it in? I'm just trying to figure this out.
Yeah, so we'll have a picnic lunch if Janet wants to wander around looking for a giant skeleton, then that's fine.
I will wander around, but I'm not gonna make any huge effort to dig one up or something.
Go set up an archaeological expedition.
Right. Not going that far.
It's got little squares all stringed out,
You don't find anything like that in the area. It seems to be the normal area. However, from the lore you picked up in Cerner, you know that to the west of Cerner is where a lot of the giants are, supposedly live. There are mountains and caves along mountains where all the giants live.
Well, that's good to know for future reference
Oh yes, it is.
when we need a giant.
How long
Anyone
does it
else
take to
detect a little bit of foreshadowing in Rob's comment just then? Anyone else could pick
get?
up?
Just a little.
Okay.
I didn't create the colossal expanse map for nothing. So you have your nice little picnic.
Yeah.
You head back to Cerner.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in Cerner, you mentioned you want to inquire about this kid, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going back to my notes here. But basically, as a reminder, there was a guard that was from Cerner passing through Crossmeet named of Namar, and he asked if you were ever in Cerner that you might check in on his son named Semel, who's about 16 and looking after his mother, who wasn't doing too well, who was rather unhealthy.
Right.
When you ask around town, it's not that difficult to find out. You find that the mother has died, and Semel has been missing for at least 10 days.
Oh.
Maybe we should have checked in earlier.
Oh, freak.
When the mother died, was Simmel around at least long enough that she was buried? He was living on his own for a little while, and now all of a sudden he's gone.
Yes.
He is likely he ran off after his father or something.
Oh no! Wait! No! Let me clarify. His mother died after he disappeared.
Oh, that's even
She
worse.
died of her disease, and she was buried. Like that part was taken care of. But he, in fact, she may have died as a result of him not being around to take care of her.
Oh,
Right.
Early, the disease killed her, obviously, but.
But where did he go off to?
Yeah, hopefully not to join the Senatsu.
Maybe our luck.
I don't know, maybe we should ask around.
Yeah. Yeah, we can definitely do that. I also want to inquire whether or not the home that he was living in with his father and mother before his father had to go off, like, is that still being like retained for his father? Like, is it still their property, or did?
Yes.
Okay.
No one has claimed it, anything like that.
Right.
So what I'm going to say is it took you the rest of the day to track down Sterner and learn those facts about his mother and all that. Now, you can certainly investigate this further, but it would have to be on the next day, and the next day you kind of have an appointment. So
Right.
you can certainly come back to this, but you don't have time to investigate it further at the moment.
All right. Well.
So, unless there's something specific you want to do, other than what we talked about, cross off one more crown each.
Oh, yep.
You guys have a fairly similar meal.
I guess we can ask around in the inn while we're staying there, but
Yeah, but it's so infrequently visited, we're not going to get much information. Well, actually, if we want to find him, we're actually going to have to dump some time into it. So.
Yeah, maybe once we're done slaughtering these people on the bridge.
Yes, I mean, after we take Book back to Lady, there is not much we have to do at the moment, and the Cerner is only a day and a half ride.
One day.
A long day ride. It's not bad.
No, we can do that, and we'll just keep our ears open while we're here.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Now, what time is the this caravan supposed to be getting to the bridge?
In the afternoon.
Just the afternoon. That's as specific as you know.
Okay. So we'll have to get there in the morning to set up. And then wait.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. So once again, the evening passes uneventfully. In the morning, you're once again served chewy coffee.
Delicious.
You can procure another lunch pack from Roken if you like. You know, maybe as a celebratory meal after you.
I think it would probably be better served just getting a bit of a breakfast in us beforehand, rather than worrying about. All right, guys, can we stop on fireballs? It's tea time, and we have some crumpets that might already be broken. So, time out, guys.
You guys hungry? Everyone calls off the combat for lunch.
yeah,
Okay.
You know what? Historically, that stuff happened.
It does, yeah, I know.
that's
There's
how
that whole World War I Christmas thing. So.
that's how halflings fight.
Yeah.
Oh, most definitely. Talk about an army that marches on its stomach.
Right. Yeah, even on the march. So cross off 2 nobles each and you get a pretty decent breakfast. Although not a lot of variation, it's filling.
Yeah, it's all good.
Sweetness and light.
When you arrive back at the Galfor Bridge the next day, there are 3 people there. There is a 2. Let me just wait. Let me just get my notes here. I'm jumping all over the place. There is a father and son, or at least 2 that are, clearly father and son. And they're fishing on one side of the bridge, and then about maybe 70 feet down on the other side of the bridge. No, not that close. They're both closer to the middle. So maybe about 10 or 15 feet down on the other side of the bridge, there is a dwarf fishing. The father and son have 2 horses that are grazing nearby. The mule that's grazing near the dwarf looks really patchy and old.
Huh.
But this is in the morning, right?
It's about, I'll say it's 11 in the morning. How does that sound?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if we gotten up, ate a really early breakfast, it would still take us 4 hours to get to the bridge.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Yep.
300 half.
We still have some hours before they should come. But
Well, we have anywhere from an hour and a half to 5 hours before they should come.
Yeah,
Okay.
roughly.
Do you want me to get rid of them?
What are you gonna do?
Just heal.
Well, I mean, I could make them fall asleep and we can dump them in the water or something.
Why don't you just go talk with them? Then they will leave.
How about I talk to them?
Wait, hear me out real quick. It's possible that we leave them. The scene is much more convincing. And when the fighting starts, they will leave on their own, unless they are fighters themselves.
That makes sense.
And if we go now saying, excuse me, could you please leave, because this, that, or the other, if it turns out that they are Senatsu members that are in advance of them, it would go and tip them off.
True.
It's not likely, but... So I think they will flee on their own, I hope.
Everybody make me insight checks, please.
They're all Senatsu agents, even the halflings.
Got a 7.
20.
What did you say, Talrin? Or Thashif?
7.
And, okay, so Steve?
18, 22, 25, 28.
That's 2 successes. That's good. Okay, so the two humans, the father and son, they give the appearance of being locals, perhaps farmers or small merchants. The dwarf who's fishing, he's more shabbily dressed. He's slightly unsteady on his feet.
Right, so he looks like a typical dwarven drunk.
Hey, Belmira, your dad's here.
Oh.
Or
I don't know who that is.
Yes, you'll slap him if he actually says that.
Nah.
Hopefully he will run.
Well, I'm kind of staying out of sight from these guys. Like, I don't want to interact with any of these people on the bridge because I'm going to be turning invisible. And it'll be kind of suspicious.
We need to go past here, right? Get down the road, maybe turn up Silton a little bit, and then have change us.
Mm-hmm.
So we can go ahead and do that, and leave Tolrune here to keep an eye on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Well, basically, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be giving Jodat the potion. American change yourself, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That covers you two.
The potion that's going to make me look like...
Well, whatever you want. It's potion of alter self, so you can make
Gotcha.
yourself look like whatever you want.
Right. That's taken care of. But we have to get these guys. We have to get everybody on the bridge distracted enough that Tolrune can. Unless you want to go upriver to Sheaf and swim downriver, and then hide.
I might get snagged on one of the fisherman's hooks.
But I mean, we got to be able to get you into your position without all these people going, why is he doing that?
Well, they're really focusing on their fishing. I mean,
Yeah, if I'm at one...
before the end of the bridge.
I don't think they would notice. As long as I'm not on the side that they're on.
Right.
Okay.
Just let me know who's going where, when. What.
So
Well,
I guess
what I'm going to do is... hang on a sec. Let me take a look at the maps here. To the west, where the trees sort of begin.
Yes.
I'm gonna kind of wander off the road into the trees a bit, and I'm gonna hang out there because that'll give me a direct line of sight down Galfa Road, so I can see long before they get to us that they're coming.
Okay.
Right.
So the trees are widely spaced enough that you could run a somewhat zigzag pattern through them. But they're dense enough that if you go back maybe 15 feet in, you'd be invisible from the road. But that would also mean you couldn't see past. So you just tell me roughly where you want to stand. So you're to the southwest of the bridge in those trees. Do I have that right?
Northwest.
Okay.
And mainly, I'm not looking to be invisible to the people on the bridge. I just want to be unnoticeable, you know?
Okay.
So I should be sitting down with my back to a tree as if resting.
Right on. Okay.
And I'm looking down the road I'm looking down the road to the west. And as soon as I see anyone who look like they might be our quarry, then I will go a bit further into the woods to, stay out of their line of sight.
Okay, so they're going to be approaching from the east, heading west. So if you're looking west, you won't be seeing them approach.
I thought they were coming west-east. My bad.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, no, they're coming from somewhere beyond, maybe from those crossroads, the south. You don't know. They're going from the east to the west, towards the coast road.
Okay, so change of plans. Belmare and I will have to be up Galfa Road and riding towards them rather than being on Sultan.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
and Grim would be on the other side of the river.
Right. Yeah,
so,
you guys would be on the Sultan Road side of it.
Correct. So yeah. So basically, it's just reversed. So I'm gonna be on the north eastern side. Yep.
Okay.
And
you look like you. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. For the most part, I mean, I have my jacket, my hat down, and I'm just kind of sitting against a tree. But I'm looking that direction.
Okay.
I'm looking east, looking for our quarry.
Yep.
Belmare and I are going to go up Galfer Road towards the west a good bit until we're out of eyesight of everybody, and that's where we'll make our changes. And
yeah.
Okay, and then where do you want to go once you've made your changes?
How far west on Galfer Road can we be and still see the crossroad at Sultan?
I don't know, maybe 1,000 feet, something like that. Keep in mind, one thing to remind you is the potion lasts an hour.
Right. Well, that's why we have to be careful we don't start it too soon.
Mm-hmm. Right. All right, so yeah, then if we can
somewhere around here, you could go to somewhere around here and still see the cross.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's well within eyesight of everybody at the bridge.
It is, but I mean, you could just go here. I mean, you could go here for 5 seconds. It's not like they're watching you.
Yeah.
But Mara can wait there and hide behind a tree or something like that while still keeping an eye on.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Once she sees them, she will run back along Gulford Road and then meet up with Jada.
That's fair enough. So yeah, I'll be up Galfer Road, probably about where the R in road is.
Okay.
So that we're probably just on the visual edge of what you can see from the bridge.
Okay.
Balmera can be near the bridge. When she sees him, she can just haul butt back to me.
Yep.
So you're going to be here.
Yep.
You're going to be here. She's going to be here.
Yep.
Grim's going to be here. And Tauren, you're going to be where?
Under the bridge, like a troll.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the plan. I was going to roll onto the bridge, pretend to be a troll.
Yeah.
I'm basically hiding pretty much
Remember,
under the bridge.
if you pretend hard enough, you'll get regeneration.
Yep.
So you're going to go off into the trees and then sneak back through the tall grass under the bridge? Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, whichever way the people fishing can't see him, yeah.
Well, there's one guy facing this way and one guy facing this way. So if you want to do that, I'll let you make a stealth check with advantage since it's tall grass and they're not watching for you.
Okay, and I was kind of imagining not directly under the bridge, but on the bank area.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So here, south side then?
Yeah. Sorry, I was just taking a moment for the.
I just find this interesting. Trying to sit 4 people, 4 different locations. Okay, I like it.
Okay, and stealth. That is a 15.
Okay, so you get no indication that anybody sees you.
Excellent.
Occasionally, the conversation of the father and son fishing reaches you. It's very mundane. It's about fishing, enjoying your day, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, exactly. All right, so everybody gets to their positions, and then about a half an hour goes by, and you see 2 men on horses coming up the road. When they get to about here, you can tell that one of the men is quite elderly.
Okay.
So that they keep coming closer. They're going fairly slowly.
Okay.
All right, so they ride across the bridge.
Can I see how they're dressed before they get too close?
Sure. They're in, I'll say, semi-fine traveling robes. They've got them pulled kind of close, but you can see a little bit under their clothes, just regular traveling clothes.
Okay, if she kind of goes out towards the road and she looks back, can she get the attention of Jardat?
You want to? Yeah, sure, yeah.
So she'll kind of like indicate that 2 people are coming.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to assume you all see them.
Yeah.
You know what? She's gonna use precipitation to make an like stick figure illusion of 2 people on horses.
That's not obvious.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Now, based on what we know, is there a chance that these are the people we're waiting for?
I would say the chance isn't mathematically 0, but
Okay.
it certainly doesn't appear to be them.
Well, it could be the vanguard, right?
Or it could just be travelers.
Well, what was that thing in that movie King Arthur where they were moving the noble, so they had a body double in the carriage,
Yeah.
and then had the noble riding as part of the guard. So because you don't attack the guard, you attack the carriage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what better way, right? You have this armed caravan that's supposed to be moving this book, and you give it to an old guy on a horse and just let him.
Great.
Cool.
All right. Well, you convinced Momera.
Right.
Kill them all.
Alright, well, I mean, I don't necessarily think it's them, so.
All right.
Okay, who's crumpling paper there?
Oh, sorry, it was me.
Okay.
Okay,
that was our old plan. Sorry.
So they continue to ride past slowly.
Okay.
I'll
but
pull the wagon off to the side of the road and maybe appear to be a little bit like I'm snoozing a little bit in the nice warm weather. By warm, I mean cold.
So both of them kind of, casually glance over at you and slowly ride by.
You could always yell to them, "Hey, you carrying a
Got any books?"
Yeah.
and then watch for the reaction.
Just shout Sonata at them. See if they react.
Alright, so I guess we go back to waiting.
Mm-hmm.
About an hour later, there's no traffic for about an hour, and then you see a lone wagon coming up the road. The wagon is like an open cart wagon.
Yeah.
The back is full of hay, and there is a single horse pulling it. Seems to be struggling a little bit, and there's a gnome riding the horse.
Great. Great. The whole plan just gets kiboshed because Mara has to murder a gnome.
You said attack the most vicious, and dangerous looking.
Now, Bemmer hasn't seen this person yet. We get to see him first.
Fair enough.
Can I do an alter self on an unknown person who doesn't know it?
What do you want to look like? Anything but a gnome. I don't care if it's a mind flayer.
But whenever you see a devil riding a wagon full of hay,
Let him
okay,
go.
at least he's not a gnome.
This is not a no.
So I believe it's going to technically reach Jadat and sort of Talrun at roughly the same time.
Yeah.
When Bemera spots
The horse is clearly struggling, although not hugely, with this load. This is probably, it should be 2 horses pulling this. The wagon is like, the hay is really heaped up high. It teeters a little bit. The wagon's going slowly.
How many did you say there was in the wagon?
Just one.
One
And that's a gnome?
It's a
that
gnome.
you can see.
Who knows how many gnomes are hiding in the hay?
That's right. Be dozens. It's an ambush.
Okay, so I'm going to assume that Talrun and Grim don't do anything to interrupt
No,
this wagon.
no, we let him
Okay.
pass by.
Okay, so the wagon goes by. As he passes the dwarf fisherman burps at him. The father and son, they nod to him. The gnome ignores their greeting and keeps riding. So it's starting to approach where you are, Belmera.
So does Bemera see that? Because that's highly suspicious. And rude.
You see, yes. Rude. I had to kill him. He was rude.
But America, she never heard about any gnomes that were hay farmers. So they probably bought the hay to disguise some chopped up children's head they're smuggling or something like that. So she'll take out a common and she'll flip it.
Okay. Yes? Oh, God. It's Two-Face.
She'll struggle with it, kind of like look at the face side of the corner and go, fine. And she'll let him ride by and kind of like fiddle with her weapons, but
Are you in view when you ride by? When he rides by?
no, she'll attempt to be hidden.
Okay. No problem.
She'll probably
same
be
with
on the other side of a tree, leaning up against him, going, kind of closing her eyes. Let him pass. Let him pass. Let him pass.
Kept the 10.
Yeah.
Right on. Excellent. So, Jadat, I'm
We
sorry,
are
go ahead.
we're the worst bandits ever.
Yeah.
Jadat, do you wish to intercept this vehicle in any way?
No, I mean, I'll stir a little bit and mumble and I guess nod to him or whatever before, pretending to nod back off.
If you make yourself visible, all you get for that is a sneer.
Oh. I sneer back.
I guess it's good that
Make me a
the,
sneering roll.
governor, yeah.
I need a steering roll. Okay. About another hour passes, and then you see 2 riders coming up. Both human. They're riding horses. They have traveling robes pulled fairly tight.
Okay. Do they look like they're dressed uniformly, or?
The traveling robes, cloaks look similar, but not identical.
Okay.
So as they get a little closer to you, you can see that traveling behind them about 100 feet, there are 7 other riders. And they're in a sort of 2-3-2 formation.
Okay. Is there a wagon of any kind?
There's no wagon. Each of the riders of 7 is about 10 feet from everyone else, from each of the others. So they're kind of spread out a little bit. 10 feet, 10 feet, 10 feet. It's a 3x2 sort of pattern. So, what do you want to do?
Well,
wait for the signal.
yeah, I'm gonna. I guess we'll have to risk it because this is the most likely target yet. So what I do is I kind of just before they get close enough to actually like see me or anything.
Yeah, but before he does that, does he notice any like are they armed? Do they have any?
You can't tell. Maybe, but their traveling cloaks are hiding their weapons if they're carrying them.
Yeah, it's suspicious enough. All right, I kind of roll, it's like off to the side, and as they approach, and I make myself invisible.
Okay.
And by the way, just FYI, I did mage armor, like, you know.
Fine, that's fine.
As soon as the time period, because that's like an 8-hour spell, so.
No problem.
So I kind of, you know, and I kind of just roll into the trees and.
Okay. You see no indication that anyone has seen you.
Okay.
Talrun, how do you want to react?
I'm waiting for him to scream, aren't I?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, yeah, I am watching this group intently.
So again, there's 2, and they're about 100 feet ahead of 7 other riders.
Okay.
The 2 gradually get to a point where they are beside you. You 2 can both make me, I'll say, perception checks.
Okay.
Or insight. I'll let you choose.
I think I'm better with perception.
23?
20.
Okay. While they're not being overt about it, it's clear that at least the 2 riders in front are looking around sort of alertly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I kind of glance at them as they kind of pass by, but I'm really focusing on the ones at the rear. I'm looking for a pack or a saddlebag or a box, something that would be big enough to have this this book that we're supposed to be looking for.
Okay. Virtually all the horses have a saddlebag big enough that could hold a book.
Okay.
These 2 are right beside you. That's awesome. These 2 are right beside you. Are you just going to let the 2 go past and wait for the others to get to it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm waiting for them to, because I'm going to be hopefully coming up behind them. I'm hoping that Belmira and Jada come to the same conclusion. And
So as soon as I see them, I'll go back to Jada and tell him about it.
Okay. No problem. I'll say you start heading back and you relay this information to Jodat. Talrun and Grim, you can see that as the 2 reach the bridge, where they start getting close to where this dwarven fisherman is, both of them reach under their cloaks in a gesture you would recognize as putting hand on hilt, although you don't see a weapon.
Right. Okay. So clearly these guys are yeah.
I'm not saying they're obviously going to attack this dwarf.
Yep.
But they're at least preparing for the possibility of being attacked.
Since these guys are pretty prepared, obviously they're kind of expecting possible trouble if they're moving a valuable item. So what I'm going to look for, I'm going to ignore the 2 that are ahead. But as soon as the 2 ahead like kind of react in a way of like getting kind of preparing themselves a bit, I immediately want to watch the rear ones because I want to see if any of them like move their hand to a bag to kind of protect it, or make any kind of subtle move, or maybe their eyes flick down to a certain bag or something. Because I'm thinking that the one that has it is the one that's going to feel the most vulnerable. That's the one who's going to feel like if someone's coming for this, I'm the one who's got it. So I have to watch it. So I'm gonna look for one who looks maybe most nervous or like moves their hand to their bag or something like that.
All right. So make me a perception check.
Okay. Not terribly great. 15.
Okay, so you don't see anything that indicates maybe who has the bag. However, you do see them sort of slow down, and they're clearly watching what the two ahead are doing, and they've slowed their pace as if they're waiting to see the results of that. Okay?
All right. Okay.
So the two that ride past this dwarf, he just kind of gives them a glance and goes back to fishing. They ride past him slowly. The whole time they have their hands on weapons. Again, they start slowly riding over the bridge and approaching the two humans. Now, Balmera and Jawdat, you guys can see this by now? You want to do anything?
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and drink the potion and look like a human lady.
Okay.
And then I guess wait for Balmera to change into her elven lady and jump in the back of the wagon.
Yep, I will cast a disguise self and into a fair elven lady.
And see, I was saving that potion for one of our guy knights.
Awkward. And then
who do you want me to look like tonight?
You have to be the girl tonight. Oh, damn it.
Ooh.
And then we'll start riding towards them.
And with thoughts like that, it's Balmera that no one wants to share a room with.
Okay, so Jawdat and Balmera, you start riding towards now. Just tell me how this seating is. You're on a horse. He's in a wagon. I'm not sure.
So she's riding in the back of the wagon, kind of amongst our goods, dressed sort of finely, maybe aloofly reading a book.
Yeah.
This is the hooded wagon, right? That wagon.
No, the small one, right?
No, I think it's a small cart.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just back in the back of a two-wheeled cart, then. Okay.
Oh well, no.
I mean, it's up to John. That's what I thought. But
both.
It's really up to John.
Either one.
I mean, either one. It can be the little two-person cart. Who cares? The little two-wheel cart.
Well, if you seat it as the wagon, that's okay too. I'm okay with that.
I just thought, since we're doing the person traveling, that it should actually be a traveling wagon, not a turnip cart.
Yeah, it makes a lot more sense to me. Okay, so she's in the back in the sort of covered over part.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of
right, and since it's a nice day, maybe we have part of the cover pulled back a little bit.
Okay.
And so basically,
and you're in the front, like steering the horses.
Right, like I'm her handmaiden driving the cart. And then obviously, we're ready for. I'll give her a signal, and we'll pull the pen on the wheel so that it breaks, and we can steer the cart into disaster.
Okay. So, are you trying to fall right in front of them, or
maybe
fall
not
30
maybe
feet
not
in front of
right?
them?
Yeah, maybe like 30 feet in front of them, or 20 feet in front of them, and then I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Dennis. I think Balmera is going to launch herself out, almost like she was thrown from the wagon.
Yes.
And since she looks like the elf, it's going to put the elf closer to them, and then she's just going to be a belligerent, disdainful elf instead of a belligerent, disdainful dwarf.
Exactly.
I used the disguise spell to make my rapier into a little parasol.
Okay, sure, absolutely.
Fencing with a parasol.
I think I saw that in Mary Poppins.
So yeah, as soon as Jada gives the signal, she will use her mage hand legerdemain to pull the pin, and she will use her acrobatics to make a fall that won't hurt her, but looks like it will throw her off.
Okay, so how's this sound to you? So about 30 feet on this side of the bridge, they come to a stop, and maybe about 30 feet in front of them, you guys do your little all right?
Yeah, so about 30 feet, so that maybe when all the tumbling and falling and careening is done, we end up about 20 feet from them in total.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So a group of 7 stop. They widen the gap between the two. They slow down and they kind of come to a complete stop here. Talrun and Grim, there's no indication that they've seen you. They're intently watching here, although they're still occasionally looking around. They're not unalert. They're intentionally watching this to see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. You two also notice, in fact, all of you notice that all of the eyes are on you now. They're all looking at what's going to happen.
Yeah, right.
I'll make her fall into like a mud pool.
Okay.
And lay there for a little while and then get up, and I'll use my sleight of hand to kind of tear up the bonnet, so kind of showing out some chest.
And as she stands up from the mud, I will let out a large gasp and come running to her and sort of my lady, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'll feign anger and kind of call out and come in, Jamina, and kind of like slap her with the parasol.
Okay.
Well, with the parasol, you're stabbing with a sword.
With
Yeah.
the side.
Yes, I forgot it was right. Sorry.
All of a sudden, her parasol goes. Wang, 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 wang.
The disguise worked on me too.
Yeah.
Slice.
So, at any rate,
Okay,
I'll
you
pull-
do this.
yeah,
you
I'll
do
pull
this
cloth
little
out, start
fall.
wiping her
This,
face off.
right on screen. So the two, they come to a stop beside you, and they have their hands on weapons. You can see that you can now tell that one of them has a rapier as a weapon, and the other one has a longbow. They also are kind of grinning at you, and they're looking back and to the group back there, and then back at you, and back to the group, and back there.
So as they're doing that, and I'm wiping the elven Belmera's face, I'm going to very intentionally brush her ear or her hair back behind her ear so that the elven pointed ear becomes a very obvious feature.
Okay. So,
Rob?
Yeah.
I just want to catch you before we go. We'll go way too far. Moving forward in time, so we don't have to retcon anything. I want to take the most advantage of about this time period, because right now they're staring at Belmera and Jodat because either whether they suspect them as a threat or they're enchanted by the boobs. Either way, they have their full attention, and I want to be able to take full advantage of that because my job is going to be to start trying to search for the book. So I just want you to know before we get to the honeymoon.
Excellent. So what I'm going to say is they fell. They did this little fall, this little play, and then about 2 rounds have gone by, and you can see that at least Balmera and Jada can see that these two on horses are grinning at them, hands on weapons, but clearly unsure of what to do, and they're looking back at the group, perhaps for guidance or something. At the group, okay? And so, wait a second. And so I'm going to say that Grim and Talrin, you have 2 rounds in which you can do something right now. I'm going to say that that's taken 2 rounds.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So now what's the formation of the rear group?
So they're basically like 2-3-2. Right?
Okay.
With a little gap in between each one.
Right, but so that basically, if I visualize this correctly, there's 2, there's 3, and there's 2. So there's one that's right dead center. Right.
Yeah. It's not that precise a formation.
Well, you know what I'm saying. But in the middle of the line of 3, there's one right in the middle.
Correct.
Yeah,
that is correct.
If I were moving,
and that guy is. I can tell you that is a human.
Okay. By the way,
the other group, I should tell you. I just should let you know that.
Yeah.
They're a mix of humans, halflings, dwarfs. There are 2 humans, 2 dwarves, a halfling, a gnome, and a tiefling, making up this group.
Yeah, the gnome just rolled snake eyes today. He's not making it out of this encounter alive.
Okay. So in any case, you have 2 rounds. What would you like to do?
Yeah, so trying to maximize my chances of finding it. I'm going to go to the one in the middle first. And I'm not going to like flip open the saddlebag and make it look really obvious, because even though I'm invisible, the saddlebag wouldn't be. So what I'm going to do is...
You're literally like walking out of the trees up
Yeah.
to them and flipping the saddlebag open.
No, I'm not flipping it open. That's my point. I'm walking out of the trees. Yes, I'm walking into their midst,
Okay.
and I want to, kind of, without flipping the saddlebag open, I want to just sort of like either peer in or reach my hand in and feel around.
Sneakily.
Okay.
Kind of like basically a pickpocketing kind of thing, or a sleight of hand, whichever.
Okay, so when you start to move, you're not making very much noise, but you can see that the grass is visibly moving from your steps. Okay, so this is a possible giveaway. So if you want to proceed, you can, but there's also some snow as well, and you're leaving footprints. So it's up to you.
Okay, I'm assuming the road is going to be fairly clear, though.
Yeah, the road is mud with a little bit in the middle, fairly hard mud, and snow along the edges, and then about an inch of snow in the grass and among the trees and stuff, an inch or two.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, then in that case, I'll just make my way up, because right now all their attention is focused forward. So I'm going to move.
Yeah, they're still kind of looking around a little bit, like they're not totally dense, but.
Well, right, but obviously I will wait till their eyes are not on me. Then I'll take a few steps. If any of them start to turn that way, I'll freeze. That sort of thing.
Okay, so I'm going to have you make me 2 stealth checks.
Okay.
I'm going to say you can make them both with advantage due to invisibility. However, you are leaving footprints and moving grass.
Right.
Which is not visible.
So, first roll. So the best one of that one would have been 15 for the first one.
Okay.
And the second one, that one's 14, 17 for that. That's the better of the two of that one.
Okay, so you creep amongst the horses, and you creep up, and this guy's like 2 feet away from you, if that.
Yeah.
The horse behind him starts like snickering and sniffing the air and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talrun.
Okay, so during this first round, I'm going to climb up onto the bridge. Well, not like onto it, but so when Grim does scream and give me the signal, I can easily just hoist myself over the edge and get onto the bridge.
Do you look like you, or? I don't
did
remember
Grim
at this
cast
point.
magic on me?
I haven't had that chance yet.
Okay, so I look like me.
Okay, so you climb out from where you were hiding and up onto the bridge?
Onto the wall of the bridge, just so next round I can get out of like cover and get onto the bridge if Grim signals, yeah.
Oh, okay, so you're sneaking up to the very edge of breaking cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's stepping onto the bridge. Hey guys, how you doing?
Surprise!
Okay. So the group that you're standing amongst starts talking amongst themselves, and you can hear what they're saying, Grim, and they're saying things like, "Why the fuck are they stopping? What the hell is going on up there? We got to get moving." And so one of the guys who you can see now, he's kind of behind you to the left.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing scale mail. You can see scale mail under his armor. And he points very vigorously and very obviously straight ahead. Like it's a very, very obvious gesture.
Okay.
And the two standing you by Belmera and Jaudet, they kind of lose their smiles. They take their hands off their sword hilts and they start riding like around you. The entourage starts forward. Now, you weren't able to get into the saddlebag, but you did notice that only this saddlebag is locked. None of the other saddlebags have a lock on it.
As the first one rides past, or starting to ride past, Vera will kind of hold her hand up, covering her chest, and she will turn to face them. Gentlemen, and she'll start to say something more, but she'll pretend she stumbles, and she reaches out and grabs whatever is nearest, and that happens to be that guy's leg, and she'll try to pull him down from his horse. Did he freeze?
No, you stunned him into silence.
Yeah, we win.
Never.
I'm sorry, I cut out again. You said you're going to reach out and pretend you stumble. That was the last thing I heard.
Yeah, she's gonna, as they ride by, she'll kind of like, when trying to feint, she's this elven noble trying to maintain her dignity with her torn dress and covered in mud, and she'll turn to face them and kind of give them gentlemen, and she'll try to pretend she's going to say more, but as she does and takes a step, she'll feint, she stumbles, and in her stumble she'll reach out to grab the nearest thing not to fall, and that happened to be that guy's leg, and she'll try to pull him down from his horse.
Okay, so go ahead and you can make your attack. I'm going to say you can absolutely grab him. You don't even need to roll because he wasn't expecting that, but you're going to have to make a strength check to pull him down.
Can I just like use the drawing that, like, if dwarves are so heavy, can I just use my weight?
As long as you're willing to like fall prone with him, you know what I mean? Like take him, like both go down. Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So you grab him by the leg, and you just put your weight into it, and both of you go tumbling off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have everyone roll initiative, and since the PCs were expecting this, I'm gonna give you guys advantage on your initiative rolls. Okay.
Nice. Well, that's good because my first roll was a 12. My second one turned out to be a 20, so 22.
Grim is 20. Yep.
22.
22. Yep. Okay. Palmera?
20.
Sorry,
21.
Talrun, what'd you say? All right, 21 for
25.
Palmera, 25 for Talrun, and Jada.
18.
Okay. So, Talrun,
Oh,
I know, right? What a bastard. So, yeah, Jada, you get the last with 18. Let me just, I gotta make some rolls myself.
Alright, am I able to delay my turn initiative till after Grim?
I don't think 5e allows for that.
Okay. Oh yeah, it doesn't.
You can ready an action, but you can't delay. Let's see, so
That's kind of weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they didn't want people to.
Explained it.
They didn't want this extra economy of like delaying actions to slow everything down.
Well, right, but I mean, I get it, but then you're literally saying a plan is only as good as the dice rolls.
Well, no, hardly. You're just saying you can't delay your action, like you can't delay your action that precisely. I wait 3 seconds to do this. If you want, I'll tell you what though. I mean, I will
Versus
say
saying I wait for someone to scream before rushing into the room.
well, that's what I'm saying.
That's 100% what everyone does every time they breach a building in the SWAT team or FBI or anything.
It is the rule. I'm just telling you.
No, I get it. It's just.
But if you want, I'll let you say you can delay it to the end of the round.
Okay.
Okay, if you want to do that.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not supposed to question the plan anyway, so yeah.
Okay, so Talrun, you're going to go first.
Mm-hmm.
So you, I mean, you're paying attention, so you certainly see Balmera bring this guy down.
Mm-hmm. And wait, did we not just say I could delay until the end of the round?
If you want to, yeah, you absolutely can.
Yeah.
That's
what I'm doing.
You got it. Okay, so Grim, this entourage starts forward. I need you to make me a dex save. Mm-hmm. This is DC is 10. This is to avoid the horse kind of coming forward onto you. Since you're invisible.
I got a 12.
No problem. So you have to move to get out of the way, but you move to get out of the way, and it starts forward at a slow pace. Like,
well, I was actually going to try to move, try to like move forward a little bit with them.
You can.
Again,
it's going at a jog pace, so you can.
Yeah. So
But you're
what
going to
I'm
need to make me another stealth check.
okay. Well, let me lay out my plan here first. So
Okay.
obviously, I see what happens on the other side of the bridge. Realize that okay, well, I guess I guess we're not going to do it the easy way. So what I do is I take a few steps forward. Let me do my stealth is 14.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Mhm.
And what I'm going to do, and it sounds crazy, but it just might work, is I'm going to kind of drop to one knee, and I'm going to cast a spell, and but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast it upward. So I'm going to basically no one will see this awesome move, but I throw both hands straight up, as I say, Maximus Inflamus. Put both my hands straight up. I'm going to detonate a fireball, basically 23 feet over my head. Basically. So, well, because these guys are up on horses, which are going to be way above me, comparatively speaking.
Airburst.
Pretty much, yeah.
The problem is while you can make your spell that precise, you can't. It's how do you accurately guess, looking straight up, exactly where 23 feet is. So I'll let you cast your spell, but you have to make me an Arcana roll to get that accurate to it. And if you fail the roll, you'll get caught in the blast too. Okay, sound fair?
So yep. Let's see. Arcana 7, so I'm pretty good at that.
A 2.
8, 15.
Okay, so roll some damage.
All right.
I gotta make some dex saves. I think.
Yeah.
That's how this works. Yeah, I'm still just writing down some initiative turns. I think I got them all now. Okay,
I'm
so
hoping that this will serve as a signal to the rest of the group.
Hey, I'm down in the mud.
come on.
All right.
Okay, so that guy made his save, and then I go, that guy made his save, and then I go 3 of those. No.
I love this sound.
No, yes. So.
Yes.
So
no,
save.
no, yes.
I know. I was thinking the same thing.
All right.
Madeline Cone.
Yeah, exactly.
Save, fail. 1, 2, 3. Fail. Mine has 3 fails there.
You're fireballing the people on the horses, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's 2 fails.
It's basically I'm kind of dropping to the ground to one knee, exploding the fireball in the air above them and catching them. Hopefully, getting.
So roll some damage.
Yeah, I did 36.
Okay, so 36. Okay, so just give me a second. I got to do some math times 7.
Yeah,
times 7 here. Okay, so that guy, one guy dies. That guy dies, and that guy dies, and that guy dies. So the guy in the middle, and the guy behind him, and the guy to his left all die. Everyone else is going to take some damage.
And I have a bonus action too, so just let me know when I can do that.
Oh yeah, now is when you can do it.
I'm going to do Misty Step, and I'm going basically 30 feet into the tree line as far as I can.
I'll say you can get about 10 feet into the tree line, and then beyond that you can't.
However far I can get on 30 feet, because it's still 30 feet away from them.
you appear to them, and then poof. Kind of
well,
thing.
yeah. Well, the ones that were in front of me wouldn't have seen where that ball came from. It would have just been like all of a sudden, like boom over their heads. The couple who were behind me obviously might have seen this sudden like appearance of something in the road, and then boom. So and then it's just as quickly it's gone. So I don't know if they would know where I went. Probably not. Hopefully.
I am going to say that they do shout out that somebody appeared in their midst and set up a fireball. They may not have seen you though. Okay, and that brings us to Balmera. So you're down on the ground with this guy grappling.
Yeah, okay, this
He's
wasn't.
he's trying to get his rapier free.
Yeah, this wasn't exactly what she has planned, but okay. She's guessing once there's a fireball in the air, Grim is starting to guess spells.
Good guess.
You can see that the dwarven fisherman throws himself over the bridge into the river. The other two, they grab their mounts and they start trekking, like making tracks. They mount up real quick. They leave some of their fishing gear behind and they start making treks south along the bank of the river, just riding south away from you.
Okay,
Canada.
Bama will jump up from the prone position and she will stab him while he's lying down. And if he's still prone, do I have an advantage on him?
Yes.
If it,
As long as you stand up, yes.
Okay. That's an AC 12.
12 does not do it. Even with advantage, you get a 12? Wow.
I rolled a 5 and a 4, so yeah.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay. Then she will use. I'll use my cunning action to disengage and get the fuck out of here.
You're gonna disengage and get the fuck out of there, you said.
Yeah, so he won't stab me back.
Which way do you want to go to? Do you want to go west or do you want to go east towards the bridge?
Towards Jardat, if possible.
Jadad's pretty much right there, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wiping your face off.
That's right, yeah.
Like in that movie Face Off.
The prequel, wiping your face, huh? Okay, so Jada, what do you want to do then? Oh no, wait, I got two guys going first, and then you get to go.
Okay.
So back where Grim was, two of the people back there howl. The guy in scale mail, he draws a great big axe, and he puts his horse into full gear, and he goes racing forward. The rest of the group kind of delays for a second, and they go racing forward. The rest of the group, one of the guys scoops down and picks up the saddlebags of this off the riderless horse, the now riderless horse that you killed, and they continue forward. So you notice, Grim, that the saddlebags with the lock are being carried by one of these guys.
Sweet.
He's literally in his hand.
All right.
Right? So, Jadat, you can see that they're not going to reach you this turn, but there's 7 people racing towards your position.
7 people?
Oh, no, sorry. My bad. I said corrected. There are
4 passes.
4 people. 4 people.
Yeah, and then
4
2
people
passes, correct?
The 2 right are near you, yes, that are right near you.
The ones that. All right. All right. Do I also see the guy grab the saddlebags? Because I mean that would be a pretty obvious motion, but in the commotion I may not notice it.
I'll let you make a perception check.
Let's see here. 17.
But you don't know that this particular saddlebag is of value, right?
I don't, but
You see a guy with a saddlebag.
everyone else just bolted and he grabbed a saddlebag off of one empty horse and not the other empty horses.
Feel free to assume.
But my concern right now is actually the guy with the gigantic battle axe. So let's worry about him first, shall we?
Okay.
I'm going to squeal like a girl and sort of dive to the side of the road.
Sure.
And as I do, I'm going to shoot him with my sand laser. And by that, I mean cast guiding light.
Okay.
My sand laser.
At the one who's down or the one who's still mounted?
The one you said, the guy who's mounted and drew his his large axe
Rapier.
and was rushing?
Yep. The guy near you drew a rapier. The guy in the axe is rushing along the bridge towards you.
Right, which is
You can attack
That-
either
that's what-
one. Yep.
that's what I was saying. Was the guy who's mounted on a guy with a rapier is not as likely to kill me in one swing as a mounted guy with an axe. So
Good point.
yeah. So it's going to be the guy who's mounted with the axe.
Okay.
And it was a ranged spell attack.
19.
Yeah, what? 19? Hey, look. I rolled a 19 on the die, so it will hit him.
Excellent. Okay.
And it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Four of these. 3, 9, 12. 16 points of radiant damage to him.
So he gives a grunt and changes his direction slightly from towards Balmera / Elf Babe to you.
Alright, and also any attack against him, the next attack will have advantage as part
Okay,
of.
excellent.
It's funny. We're doing this, and we inadvertently start a war between the humans and the elves.
That's funny.
And then as a bonus action, since this guy is barreling down on me, I'm going to go ahead and cast Divine Shield. So
Okay.
a buckler will appear on my arm that looks like a very large coin bearing the personage of Joaquin.
Okay, awesome. So some of the other riders with this guy, not quite as fast. He's sort of in the lead almost. One of them sort of starts to stand up on the horse and then jumps off the horse into the air and starts floating upwards. Another one of them, the one carrying the saddlebags, he rides his horse over the side of the bridge and leaps over into the river with the saddlebag. Another one of the riders at the back turns around and starts riding back east. So you now have two at the front, near you guys, where Balmera and Jaded are. You have a guy with an axe and one other riding towards you. There's a guy floating, a guy going over the rail, and a guy going back to the east. And that brings us back to Talrin. Or sorry, it brings us to Talrin, who delayed his turn.
Yeah.
How many were there?
There were a total of 9 people that started. There are 7 left alive.
There are 6 left alive.
Yeah, I can't do math.
And there are 3 going in 3 separate directions.
Right.
Alright, so I get
4 if you count up.
There's 2 coming towards us, 1 floating up in the air, 1 running the opposite direction, right?
And one that
jumping
jumped
off
over into the
boat
river.
and along the water.
Did he jump over in the direction of Talrun? Because that would be hilarious.
Did he jump over the river what?
Did he jump
In
over
my direction?
in
Towards
Talrun's
Talrun.
direction or away from him?
Well, he jumped over the south side of the bridge. So he's certainly
been-
very near to you. He's
Right towards you, yep.
maybe 20 feet away, 25 feet away, something like that.
Okay, so
Either
that's the
he's
first
wounded,
one I
you can see
see.
that he's wounded, partially burnt, and he has the saddlebags in his hand. But you also see a guy riding to the east. You see a guy going up in the air as well.
Okay, so the guy who jumped off the bridge is closer and I have to get all the stragglers. That was part of the plan.
What you want to
All right.
the river one or the guy riding the other direction?
Get on
River one. To get him first.
Okay, so how do you do this? What do you do?
I run up.
The river's moving fairly swiftly, but he just landed in it.
He's 25 feet from me, right?
Yeah, in the middle of the river.
Shouldn't I? Alright, so I'm gonna run and I'm gonna spend a key point to.
Yes?
What the hell is that thing to? Step of the Wind.
Okay.
I can spend the key point to take a dash as a bonus action, and my jump distance is doubled for this turn.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm basically gonna run and jump and try to tackle him off.
Okay. So I'm going to say your boost of speed manages to overcome the slowdown going through the water. So when you reach him, he's only moved about 5 feet south of the bridge. The water is carrying him away, but he only gets about 5 feet away from the bridge before you get to him.
Okay. So.
And you're both kind of being carried by the current now.
Okay, good. Alright, I'm gonna try to grab at the saddlebags and start like punching him.
Okay, so well, that's 2 different actions, but I'll let you make an attack roll to grab the saddlebag.
Okay.
Punch.
Okay, that is a 14.
All right, so I'll say you guys are both hanging on to the saddlebags, and it's kind of a tug of war as you both start going down this river. Okay?
Yeah.
So back to the top of the order. Grim.
All right. So I see the one running back to the east. Now I don't think he's the one. He's the one with the book, but I'm not going to take any chances. So
Okay.
I reach into my pouch at my side and just like kind of absentmindedly throw it backwards toward him, and I say, "Kill him and bring me the bags." And I throw off this ball of fur. So.
All right, roll a d8. Let's see what happens.
A rat.
Yeah, right. Okay. Oh shit! I don't have the. Do you have the thing open? Let's see. 4. Hang on, I can open it. Let me check here.
Well, I know one of them is options is a weasel.
Is it a DMG?
Yeah, I know. No. This is a.
Yeah, it's in the DMG.
Oh,
bag of tricks. Tan bag of tricks.
I get a 4. Okay, here it is. Axe beak. Oh, that's one of those like flightless, like ostrich kind of birds, but with a massive like beak head. Okay.
Right, I think you're right.
Let me just check here. All right. Oh, okay. Wow. 19 hit points, moving to 50. So he should be able. Hopefully, he should be able to catch him.
So right. So what I'm gonna say happens. You kind of get one of these things like where he's going this way and he closes off the angle, right?
Yeah.
So this guy's riding and he looks over his shoulder and you see a look of panic on his face just as the axe beak reaches him and make an attack roll for the axe beak.
Okay. 17 plus
Hit.
plus 4.
Hit.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
You can see this guy was already injured by the fire.
It takes 9, so the beak comes out. Axes into him. Takes 9.
Right. So it doesn't kill him. However, I'm going to make Dex roll a disadvantage to see if he stays on the horse. He does not. So he gets pulled off the horse. Boom! The horse keeps going, kinda, and sort of starts to drift off after a little bit. Okay. He's lying on the ground wrestling with an axe beak.
Okay.
Now that was a bonus action for you, I believe.
So I'm going to I'm going to be heading towards the now based on what I saw, the one with the locked bag, since I'm the one who saw where it went. He's the one who went over into the river, right?
Yeah, he's wrestling with Talru right now. He's in the tug of war with Talru right now.
Okay, so
and you can see this guy with an axe and another guy closing fast on Jadad and Balmera, and there's a guy floating in the air.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna trust Talrun for the time being, and
okay.
So the one in the air, I'm just going to using the tree as cover, just lean up from behind the tree, and I raise my hand up, point my arm towards him, and muttering a vicious-sounding series of words. My hair kind of stands up. Some static runs along up the course of the edge of the tree, and this lightning bolt arches up toward him.
As you're casting the spell,
he
looks back and he gestures at you, and he casts counterspell.
Mm-hmm.
And so your spell just kind of fizzles.
Okay.
You now have his attention, and he's drifting. Well, he's turned around anyway, looking at you. He doesn't have fly, but he has up and down. So you now have his attention.
Good.
Okay, so that brings us to Balmera. So this guy has stood up, and he has got his rapier out, but that's as far as his gun.
And there's still the guy with the battle axe charging us.
Yes, and he's with another guy.
Oh, so he's not available. She will. She will use circlet of blasting to blast him with fire.
The guy right in front of you, or the guy approaching?
The battle axe guy.
Okay. Keep in mind you can split it at 2 different targets if you want. Doesn't have to be the same target.
No, she wanna take him down. So
you got it.
Was that with the advantage, Steve? Was that the guy that got the sand laser?
That's correct. Yep. This attack. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, that is 3. That's only 14.
14 is not going to hit him. Oh, 14 damage. Or do you need 14 to hit?
14 to hit.
Okay, so he ducks, and it's 3 attack rolls, eh? I believe it's 3 attack rolls of D10, isn't it?
3 separate.
Because you can split it up.
Yeah, 3 separate attacks.
Yeah, or you can do it all at once. I mean, 3, but still 3 attack rolls.
So I have to roll 3 times, or?
Right. So you only missed on one of them, is what I'm saying. You get 2 more shots at him.
Yeah, but you make a range attack for each ray.
Yep.
Okay. So
you need a 19 to hit him.
A 19? Oh
yeah,
my God.
He's in scale, man.
Get 1 hit, 10 points of fire damage for 3 points of fire damage.
Okay. He curses you, but he's still going to continue towards Jadit since Jadit hurt him more.
Okay, I'll use my move action to move behind the cart that we're in.
Behind the Jadit?
And I'll, as once I'm out of sight, I'll use my cunning action to hide.
Okay, you can hide from him, but there's another guy there with a rapier, and there's a second guy there with a rapier. So you can't hide from all of them, but you can certainly hide from the guy with the axe.
Didn't one of the guys near us have a longbow?
He did, but he never drew it out because he got into melee range with Balmera.
Okay. I just when you described it, you said we saw 1 rapier and 1 longbow. I didn't realize the other guy was carrying a rapier also.
Longbow was his weapon of choice, but Balmera forced his hand.
Makes sense.
Okay, so the guy with the axe is going to get to. He's got a 19 initiative. You got an 18 initiative, Judith. So he's going to reach you, and he's going to take 2 swings at you with this big axe. 1, 2.
This big axe.
And, oh my God! See those rolls?
Ouch.
Enjoy that one, buddy.
That's ugly.
All right, let's see what happens. Okay, so he's just a disadvantage on his next attack.
Okay, I'll take it.
Anyway, so he comes in, and he's big and imposing, and he's swinging this big axe. But you managed to, like,
little human lady.
Yeah, he hesitated slightly because he couldn't bear to hit a lady, yeah.
Well, he was swinging for her size and not my size is what it was.
Ah, there you go.
Right on.
It passed through the air.
So that's him. So the guy who's floating, he points down you, Grim, and he's going to cast Scorching Ray, which I think is a 2-hit rule.
Yeah, and keeping in mind I'm still using the tree as cover, so I don't know how much cover I can get from that, but
I'm gonna give you 2 add like 2 to whatever your armor class is then for partial cover.
Okay, so my AC is 16 currently, so it'll be 18.
And what did I roll? I miss.
Okay.
So I'll tell you what happens: is a tree you're standing cover behind, this Scorching Ray hits the bark, and the bark starts kind of smoldering and burning a little bit. It's just like a couple inches from your face. It was really close.
Nice. All right.
The guy who is riding with the axe guy, he stops short and he draws a bow and he's going to shoot 2 arrows at you, Jawdat, since Balmera bravely hid. So he hits you with 1 arrow.
Oh yeah, all kinds of it.
It's from a longbow. So he does 10 points of damage.
Ouch!
With his longbow. The other guy with the rapier standing near you, Balmera, he draws it and swings it. I believe that's going to be a hit. And he stabs you with the rapier for 8 points of damage.
Okay, I'm gonna evade him, so I won't take half.
Okay. Yeah,
Good
you don't even
choice.
have to tell me. You just do it.
Okay.
The guy in the water, I'm going to have him make an athletics roll, first of all, just to swim, since his hands are kind of tied at the moment. So he starts going under the water. I want you to make a strength roll, please. Tolerant, there's going to be a contest.
Okay.
You've got to beat a 7. Oh, you got to make an athletics check first, though, because you're swimming as well.
Okay, I got an 11 on the strength check, but I'll make the athletics check now. Hopefully
Okay,
I
so
die.
no. All right, so that was your athletics check. All right, so make your strength check. You need to beat a 7.
Okay, I got a 13.
Okay, so you both sink under the water of this fast-moving river, but you manage underwater. You pull this saddlebags free of his hand. You guys are kind of both bobbing. You don't have a lot of control in this water, but the saddlebags are now clearly in your hands as you go whipping down this river. And we're going to get to your turn in a second, but that was connected to you. And then so we have one more guy, and he's wrestling with an axe beak. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So do you want me to roll for the axe beak?
I'm attacking the axe beak.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And he falls on his face right in front of the axe beak, right under its claws with his fucking one.
Dice rollers are on our side today, I guess.
So I believe it's Jawdat's turn. We're going to get to the axe beak, but it's Jawdat's turn right
Yeah,
now.
that's right.
Okay, so Mr. Axie Face is right near me.
Right? On the other side of the wagon, there's a guy with a rapier fighting Balmera, and there's a guy standing about 15 feet away with a longbow.
About how far?
About 10 or 15 feet.
Okay. I need to take a peek at this real fast. I'm pretty sure I've
It's a
got this
halfway
right.
archer, by the way.
What'd you? The halfling archer?
Yeah, if it matters.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I actually thought you said it's a halfway archer. I was like, what is that?
He's kind of shooting arrows at you, but not really.
He doesn't really care. Yeah. I don't care if they hit.
Okay, so I'm this is dicey. Are you ready? I'm going to step. Man, I don't know. So I'm gonna take a partial movement. So I'm going to move like 10 feet away from the guy on the horseback with the battle axe.
Okay.
And
You get one.
go ahead.
What's your AC?
Hey, actually, that's a very good question. Uno momento, por favor. I haven't had to look it up since Balmera gave me the new armor.
Okay. So I rolled a 17 rather. He gets no way.
I'm 99% sure you hit me. I have a 13, 14. I have a 16 currently. So yes, you did hit me.
Okay. So he hits you with the axe for this +4. Whatever this is.
For 32 points of damage.
Well, it's a D12 +4, so it's
12.
12
Okay.
points of damage.
All right. So that does.
So you move back 10 feet. Yep.
That cleaves a good wound into the chainmail, and you can see my orcish flesh actually through it, and what is obviously a developing bruise where that hit. It would have cut me really bad had I still been wearing my cloth armor before all of this. So with that, I kind of spin and come to a jerking halt in the icy gravel here, and I reach into my belt pouch and I'm gonna pull out a couple of coins that I toss up in the air, and then I hold out my left hand towards the guy with the axes. And what I'm doing is I'm going to cast Spirit Guardians as well as Spiritual Weapon.
Okay.
So the benefit of this Spiritual Weapon, I'm summoning that sort of razor edge coin that I use often, and it starts buzzing, and it will go ahead and attack the guy with the battle axe. It can attack at the same round it's summoned for the first round.
Okay.
So
AC 19.
I'm going to go ahead and use my inspiration
Sure.
for this particular attack.
Everybody has it, by the way, just so you know.
And it's a very good thing I did because I rolled a 1 and a 17. So I will.
All right.
I will hit him. I
Okay.
cast it. I'm going to cast it as a third level spell, so it's going to do 2 die
Sure.
8 damage rather than its normal 1 die 8. So
You got
it'll be 7 plus 7 is 14 plus my spellcasting is only a 2, so it'll be 16 points of damage.
Okay. So he looks badly hurt. His
And
armor's
then
pretty chewed up.
the Spirit Guardians are the tiny coins that appear around me and start whizzing like the little angelic coins
Nice.
that I have. And since both he and the archer are within 15 feet. Oh, also, as I cast it, I'm going to go ahead and designate myself, Balmira, and Grim as unaffected by the spell.
Grim might be out of range, but that's okay. Grim's way on the freaking other side of the bridge, but that's
The range of designating people is within line of sight. It's the reason I can't get Torun. That's impossible.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
So, but since they're within 15 feet of me, they both need to make a Wisdom save.
All right. 1, 2. Let me just look up their wisdom. So the guy on armor does not make it, but the archer does. The halfling archer does.
All right. So the halfling archer will take half damage, and the other guy will take full damage, and both of them now have their speeds halved.
And what is that damage number? Is that the 16 you gave me?
It is not.
before?
I'm rolling it right this second.
Okay.
So it's going to be 3 plus 3 plus 7. So 13 points of damage.
Okay. This thing, these blades, I mean, they just fill this area, right?
Basically, they take up a 15-foot radius around me, and anything that starts its turn or ends its turn or enters that 15-foot radius will take damage when they do.
Okay, so the guy with the axe, he gets wounded, doesn't die, but his horse collapses like kind of underneath him. He doesn't get pinned by it, but he's horseless now.
All right. For those keeping score at home, this dude has an insane amount of hit points.
Same with the halfling and this champion dude you're fighting?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll tell you that he's down to 2.
He's brutal.
Yeah, he's down to 2. This halfling guy you're fighting, his horse dies as well.
Oh,
so he's
that
also
makes me
horseless.
sad. I don't want to kill horses.
Pony rather. He was right. Well, it's rather indiscriminate your spell. So, but
all,
it's
people,
effective.
all these humans and halflings are dying around him. He's fine. He sees a pony follower. No.
To be honest, when I cast it, I thought about designating the horses as
You should have.
not being but I was afraid that they run off on the horses. So we'll see.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, so the axe beak gets to go.
Oh, yeah. 14.
14's a hit. In future, with your pets you summon, I'm going to have them go on the same initiative as.
Well, that's what I thought they were going to do. Which, yeah, but that's fine. It's cool. 7. 10 total on damage.
Okay, that is by the way, that is a tiefling that your axe beak is wrestling with.
Oh, okay, cool.
And so the tiefling and the guy near Balmera are going to still get to attack. They're the only ones that, I got a crit.
Just what we wanted to hear.
Oh, 84.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right. So he
Was that in the
crits
axe
you,
peak?
Balmera, with
Oh.
his rape. No, that was the guy
Oh.
critting Balmera. So Balmera, you're gonna take 22 points of damage.
Yeah, didn't he attack once?
Yeah, the round's gone around. I'm doing it right. The round's gone. It's his turn now.
He attacked me, and
Previous round.
Yeah.
well, I should have gotten an attack in between, right?
I'm pretty sure I got this right. I'm pretty sure. You attacked the guy with the axe. You attacked the guy with the axe. This is the guy with the rapier.
They just happen to have a couple of guys on their side that have high initiative also. So
the champion and the wizard got the highest initiative, and the other guys got left below you.
Yeah, but the rapier guy, was that the axe guy that attacked me last? I
Yes.
thought it was the rapier guy.
Yeah.
Before,
The axe guy attacked you last. This is the rapier guy who just critted. So you take 24 points of damage, and you got to roll me a d4.
that's how many fingers you lose.
For how many limbs you lost?
You actually get bleeding. You're actually bleeding.
Okay, I rolled 3.
So you're bleeding for 3 rounds. Each round you're going to take 1 hit dice worth of bleeding damage. Unless you're healed, then it stops immediately.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay? And so the last guy that gets to go is the guy in the river, and he's going to grab for the bag. I make an acrobatics check first for him. Or sorry, athletics.
Didn't he
manages
already
to
do
swim.
that and he started sinking?
Yeah, we're going back around. Just trust me. We're back around to him. He goes like he's on one of the last turns. Anyway, he tries to grab the bag and fails. Okay, you're starting to drift away from him now, and it's your turn. It's your turn. So you're in the water. You're gonna have to make me an athletics check first, just to keep swimming, and you're actually having a hard time like stopping yourself, even if you want to, or steering yourself. The river's moving pretty swift here.
Got a 14.
Okay, so you you can swim. What do you want to do?
Okay.
This guy's getting further away from you, and you have the saddlebag right now.
Alright, I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to step onto the bank, swim to the edge, and climb out.
So you manage to make your way over to the bank. You realize you're about 150 feet south of the bridge now, and you just get a glimpse of him with a helpless look on his face, burnt and bloody, getting swept down the river. Okay.
I'm sure that I can assume that he is dead.
I'll let you make a ranged. You've only really done a movement. I'll let you make a ranged attack at him if you want. You can throw something.
No.
Throw a rock.
Doesn't have any range weapons. I'm heading back to the bridge and...
Okay, so you pull yourself out of the river. You start moving up the bank.
And I'm going to burn another key point, so... Actually, no, I haven't used an action, so I'm just going to dash and run to the bridge. And is this this is just one bag, right? It's not like several?
It's one saddlebag, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It probably is about 10 pounds or something. You start running back towards the bridge. Grim, it's your turn.
All right. So, how high up is this guy actually right now?
He's about 50 feet and climbing.
50 feet? 50?
50, yeah.
Okay. All right.
And climbing.
All right. Well. All right. So what I'll do is I guess I'll just try and shoot him down.
Okay.
So again, I take my iron wand, lead up behind the tree, and loose a bolt of fire at him. Hopefully.
Okay.
It's 18.
Hit.
Okay. And okay. The two days I didn't have out. Oh, here we are. He takes 11 as this thin line of fire just slices across his chest.
Okay, so he screams and howls in pain. The guy with the axe. Oh, sorry. You finish.
And I duck behind the tree.
Okay. So the guy with the axe, he's going to attack you again, Jadat. Now he's got to move towards you. So does he take damage moving through this stuff?
Let's see. Spirit, when you cast an affected creature, speed is halved, and when the creature enters the turn for the first time or starts a turn there. Yep. So he will take damage from it.
Okay, so he takes damage before he takes a step. So
Yeah.
roll that damage.
He needs to make his wisdom save first.
Okay, so and if he makes it, he takes half damage, right?
Right.
So I'm not even going to roll for him. He's only got 2 left, so I'm just going to say he dies.
Okay.
But I'm going to roll for the archer, who's the halfling archer who's in it. He might survive. Roll some damage. I rolled a 3.
12.
I know, 2 1s, a 3.
That's going to be a 6, 6, and 7. So 19 points of damage.
19?
21 with my bonus. So yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so he's still. You got a really bloodied halfling standing there with a bow. He doesn't get to go yet, though. The axe guy died. The wizard, who's flying upwards,
He can't fly.
he's gonna cast a spell, and he's going to turn invisible.
Okay.
Okay, so you no longer see him in the sky.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go. And all right, so that brings us to you, Jadat.
All right.
So there's an archer about 15 feet away from you, pointing a bow at you, really bloody, a halfling. There is a battle going on with a guy with a rapier and Balmera about 10 feet away from you, but on the other side of the wagon.
Right. Let's see this. Do I have to be able to see you to do this? Yep.
Now,
You
just
could easily move like 10 feet and then see him.
actually, a quick question while he's doing that. This guy, since he's not flying, he's clearly just levitating. Was that my impression? Since
Yeah,
I know
Yeah, drifting in the air.
Yeah, he would be drifting.
Since I know both spells, I'm assuming it's levitation, not fly. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Cool. Just to clarify.
All right. This might get me clobbered again. We'll see. I'm going to use my bonus action to move the spiritual weapon to the halfling and swing at it.
Go ahead.
And it's only going to hit an AC 14.
That's a hit. That's what you need.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
So he will take 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 2, 8 points of damage.
Down he goes. What does that look like?
So the coin goes flying at him and turns sideways, and it slices through his, not entirely through him, but into his midsection as it passes him. So it cuts him, and you see his bow just sort of kink in half as the coin cuts through the extended longbow in front of him. I'm then going to move, and I'm going to lay hands on Balmera. Why, you little...
Okay.
And this will provoke an attack of opportunity from the guy with the rapier, I'm sure, because I'm going to have to be touching her, and he's engaged in melee.
Fair enough.
Which is why I said this may get me punked again, but we'll see.
Right on. So you get stabbed with the rapier for 4 points of damage.
It still hurts.
Oh.
It still hurts a lot.
Damage.
Alright, and we're going to cast Cure Wounds as a 3rd level spell to try and get Balmera healed up here. And so
Your bleeding stops immediately, Balmera.
6, 14, 22, 24 points of healing.
Okay. And Balmera, you're definitely no longer bleeding. The guy with the rapier, he's going to get his regular attack now.
Yeah.
And he's going to attack not you, Jadat, but rather Balmera with advantage. Oops. Who's prone? Yeah, I manages to hit you once, Bummer. No, I should check that now. 16, that might not be a hit. 16 a hit?
No.
Okay. So he manages to stab into your armor, but does not puncture it or do any damage. So all that's left is the guy fighting the axe beak.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so he manages to stab the axe beak.
Oh, cool.
For 10 points of damage.
I think. No, I think it is. Let me double check. I don't remember its hit points actually. How much?
10.
Oh, it's got 18. Okay, yeah, it's still alive.
Okay, so he stabs the axe beak for 10 points of damage. The guy going down the river, you never see him resurface.
Okay.
And that brings us to you, Talrun. So if you want to do a full dash again, you can get to the bridge. You can get to where this guy is fighting the axe beak. I'm going to say you don't know where Grim is at the moment. He's hiding.
All right. Yep, so now I'm going to burn a key point and run up to the guy fighting the axe beak.
Okay.
And, yeah, then I'm going to make an attack against him.
As you get to him, you see a look of terror come over his face. Now he's faced with 2 opponents. Like, this big fucking bird wasn't enough.
Yeah. Not something he was expecting to see on this road this time of day at this hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, so I just run and strike him.
Go ahead.
Yeah. God damn it. That is a 13 and a 21.
Miss. Hit.
Okay, cool.
Miss one hit.
So it does 8 points of bludgeoning damage, and I'm going to spend a key point to make it a stunning strike. So he needs to make I believe, a con save. I'm going to double check that because I don't want to get it wrong. Constitution save.
A crit. Hey, that's a useful time.
Okay. So he's fine.
So he's alive for the moment. I believe it's the axe beak's turn.
Oh. This thing is +5. 15.
14. Hit.
All right. Takes 6 from the axe beak.
Okay, so the axe beak kills him how?
So as he kind of rolls to avoid, Talrun, this new threat, he rolls and he comes face to face with the axe beak, just kind of rears back and comes down, chunk right onto his head, crunch, and it breaks like a giant walnut. Snap, snap, snap.
All right, so he's dead, crushed, and shredded.
Now this axe beak has instructions, just FYI. He was to grab the packs and bring them to me. So.
Well, he didn't get the packs, but he pulled the guy off the horse. Now you don't see the horse, but you did see it kind of drift off the road after a ways. It's your turn, and you can certainly go looking for it if you like.
Me?
The only combatant left is about 200 feet away from you on the far side of the bridge. This one remaining guy with the rapier who's now facing Balmera and John.
Well, not necessarily.
So
because the
likely be dead by the time you got to him. Well,
I saw the spellcast turn invisible, right?
Oh yeah, the only remaining visible combatant, I should say.
Yeah. So since I know he was levitating, he can only move at a certain rate. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna burn my last spell, and I step up from behind the tree, Maximus Inflamus, and I flip this flaming spear just spinning up into the sky. I'm basically gonna detonate it right above where he, I kind of estimate where he would have been.
Lava hand grenade, semi-blind. Cool.
Well, pretty much. Well, I figure I've got a 40-foot margin of error.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
Go for it. Okay.
So. Well, actually, he'll need to make his roll, and then I just
roll some damage.
Right.
If he's levitating, any kind of dex saves to dive out of the way, definitely got to be at disadvantage.
35.
Okay, so Good news and bad news. The good news is you see where you didn't see it a moment ago. This ball of fire strike this target.
Yeah.
But just a ball of ash comes down. Like what's left is just a few bits of bones and ash. He's completely destroyed, and just the remains plunge into the river. Okay, so Balmera, you're prone and you're standing over a guy with the rapier who just unsuccessfully tried to pierce your armor with it. Jawdead is right near you.
What he actually meant was you're prone and there's someone standing over you with a rapier.
Yes.
You're prone and standing over him with a rapier. What? You're
Oh, is
talented.
that what they said?
Oh, it's cool. It was hilarious.
He's more prone.
Hey, this guy, he just tried to poke you with this rapier and didn't hurt you. So what do you want to do?
He's super prone.
I'll use my movement to be unproned.
Okay.
Non-proned.
Takes up half your. Yep. Takes your half your movement, but you stand up. Sure, no problem.
I guess I'll. Where's Jawdead and all this?
Right beside you.
Right near you.
So we are flanking now.
Yes.
Okay, then I'll stab him in his liver.
I don't foresee good things for him.
Yay! I fumble.
Okay, roll a percentile.
Oh, jeez. Oh, come on!
That close to victory, and then he fumbles.
I know.
Not 3.
It was the crit he got. 0-3?
Yeah.
Okay, so your next attack's just going to be a disadvantage. Jawdead, you're going to get to go before he does. Yep.
I'm gonna disengage and use the remainder of my moon to get away from him.
Okay. You get about 15 feet away. Sure.
Well, 10 feet, but yeah.
Okay. He's pretty wounded, Jawdead. What do you want to do?
Oh, I'll bring over my coin and attack him with it.
You got it.
And I'll roll a whoop. How do you feel about a 12?
You need 14.
So it misses him.
So not very good.
Is that your action?
That's a bonus action. So
Okay.
when that misses, I guess I will go ahead and cast Guiding Bolt and try and
Okay. Yep.
hit him with that. 12 plus 2, 14.
14 is what you need.
All right. So let's see if we can make him stop breathing or something. 12 points of damage.
That's what we had. 12 exactly. So describe that for me, and that'll be the last combatant.
So the it's the same sort of warm air, divine laser beam of sand. Wow. And it'll hit him, and it's almost like it doesn't like burn him like normal. It's just gonna blow him backwards off of his feet, so that
Okay.
and when he lands, he just lands with this sort of sickening, and there is no more movement.
Okay. So as the last combatant at least vanishes, disappears, you can't be certain the guy in the river died. But anyway, there's certainly no one else fighting you. There's a few bodies scattered here and there. There's a couple of dead horses as well. There are some missing horses. How would you like to proceed as you guys are all sort of huffing and puffing?
Well, I'm probably going to go. I'm first going to meet up with everyone. Make sure we have the book first. So.
Okay. So Talrun, you have the saddlebag in hand. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I open it.
It's locked. There's a lock on it.
Okay.
Okay. If it's a lock on a saddlebag, I can tear it off. Tear it off if I have enough time, right?
You can. I'm sorry. What?
I could tear it off, right?
Yeah, I think eventually you could maybe like cut it off, right? I see it as sort of a leather plus metal combination. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, but then
one of
it's
those
like
sort of
stitched.
locking, foldable briefcase stays. Yeah. You
Yeah,
can
but
get
it's
into it.
kind of
I'm
like-
not saying that. I'm not saying you can't.
Yep.
If you want to destroy it, you can certainly get into it.
And I look
Okay,
inside.
So I'm going to tell you right now that the book is in there, but that takes you about 10 minutes. So does anybody else want to do anything in that 10 minutes, or maybe 5 minutes?
Well, I asked. Well, I'm just gonna ask. Did anyone get away?
One guy might have gotten away. He might have just drowned. Probably drowned.
Okay.
I'm looking sort of sheepishly at the father and son and the dwarf, like, You see nothing.
The father and son that were fishing.
They already left.
Yeah.
They're long gone. Yeah, they're.
I figured.
Split.
Yeah, they took that right away.
Same with the dwarf, the drunken dwarf.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess I'll help him open the bag just so it doesn't damage the book. But I say there's one more horse wandering in the woods with saddlebags we should probably round up.
There's potentially 3 horses, actually.
Mm-hmm. Well, I only knew of the one on my side, but yeah.
Well, there should technically be one that's in the river somewhere, right? This guy, didn't he leap over on his horse and then bail on his horse?
Nope, yeah, he leapt off his horse. The horse
Okay.
He did. So yeah, there's probably could be as many as 5 horses, I suppose. 2 at least were killed.
Right.
Oh, no, wait a minute. 2 at least were killed.
The one that the halfling was on, the one that the axe murderer was on.
Right.
I would imagine that the other 2 riders' horses, the one with the rapier and the one, there should be 3 dead horses. But the 2 nearest, Balmerani,
that makes sense.
Yeah, they would have gotten caught in the horse also, or in the blades also. So 3 dead horses, 4 live horses somewhere.
Right, but those 4 horses are scattered. You don't know where they are at the moment. So, but in the saddlebags, you do find this very thick, very old, somewhat water-soaked, not terribly bad, but somewhat water-soaked book. It's got a very thick cover. It's definitely written in ancient Elven.
Okay. Well, I'll immediately sort of like take it gently over to a big, clear area, where the sun is still out, and I'll and I'm gonna do prestidigitation to sort of get most of the moisture out. I just kind of draw my hands across it, and all the moisture just kind of pulls away from it.
Yeah. So a big puddle of moisture kind of rains from it.
Yeah, and I just throw the moisture aside, and it's gonna splash.
Sure.
And,
yep.
And I'll go to
there's
quick look over.
There's also a bunch of dead bodies around. Yeah, so it's written in ancient Elven. The handwriting looks fairly nice, but you can't read it. But,
now, the creatures that I summoned from the Bag of Tricks, how long do they last for?
I think it's 24 hours or until death.
Oh, okay.
It's actually maximum of 24 hours. It's till sun up.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I suppose I can take care of the bodies then. I color.
You can also keep in mind these aren't like your familiars. They're not real creatures. They're like know what I mean.
Well, no, but they can follow instructions. Creatures.
Yeah, what I mean is they don't feed. They don't.
Oh, I know.
Breathe,
I know.
They don't.
Yeah, but I call over the axe beak.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely wounded, but bleeding.
Say, pick up all these bodies and dump them in the river, would you, dear?
The Axbeak isn't that intelligent, but the rest of you could easily drag the bodies into the rivers if you want. You can search bodies first as well if you choose.
Well, yes.
All right, so let's leave what's on the bodies until next week.
Okay.
Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you all had fun, and we're going to pick it up here again next week. Bye.